And we are back with a brand new edition. What's up, party people? Happy Monday. I hope you had an amazing Easter. I had a very relaxing Easter. Did you guys see my eggs? My daughter beat me. She did better than I did, but whatever. Who's counting? My name is Jen, and I'm your manifestation bestie, where I teach you how to leverage the law of assumption to work in your favor. I already know that sounds good to you, so click that follow button or subscribe wherever you're watching from. Also, I have an upcoming live event next Sunday, and it's supposed to fucking thunderstorm. That's okay. I have a live event coming up next Sunday where I'm going to help you release your negative emotions so that they're no longer holding you back. Hey, Taylor sister. So make sure that you register for the live event, because I'm also going to be teaching you how to jump into your SP's timeline, which is going to be very, very cool, by the way. So be sure to register for that. Also, if you are interested in having me manifest for you, or you want one-on-one coaching with me so you can figure out where you're going wrong so you get your shit right, then all links are in my bio, or again, description if you're in YouTube. I go live every day at 10 o'clock Pacific time. If you ever miss a live, don't even trip. I post them every day on the tube of you. So while you're there, subscribe. And then let them play in the background. Hey, Princess Cupid, let them play in the background. They're long as fuck sometimes, okay? Actually, all the time. Let's not lie to ourselves. Hey, CC sister. Hey, Teddy Bear Bear. So be sure to watch them. Mute the volume. I don't care. Help me get my watch hours up. And engage in the videos. What's the problem, Jenny Bunny? Hey, Liz, sister. Engage in the videos. Help me expand my reach, because YouTube rewards people that get engagement. So help me expand my reach so we can help more people understand that they need to, do what works. Okay. All right, Sabrina. Did we get an update on Manifest for me at all? Yes, I can give you an update. Oh, I love that, Princess Cupid. I love that for you. I can give you an update. I do it every day. Okay. But typically what's going to happen is you're going to be giving me the update. Yeah. Because I love waking up every single freaking day to messages talking about movement. I get them all the time, like every day. Today, there was like 8 messages. Hey, Isha, bestie. I get all of the, I woke up today, probably about 6 to 8 messages about massive movement, huge movement, blah, 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 blah. That's what it's all about. In fact, somebody just did the photo method. She's been doing it a couple days now. She was blocked. She literally sent me a message, I think yesterday, saying she was blocked still. And so she was like, I'm blocked. But I'm going to continue to do it. She did it. And guess what she woke up to this morning? Within 20 minutes after the photo method, hey, Jackie girlfriend, a text from SP who, she was blocked yesterday. Hey, Leanne. Okay, so there's that part. Okay, so that's why I say don't worry about the blocked feature. Do you think she worried about the blocked feature? No. And do you think she spent her time on the photo method saying you're going to unblock me? No. Instead, she was like, you're contacting me right now. And did he? Yes, he did. That's the best part. I love how one of my clients always says, it's so weird. They're like robots. I was like, I know. And that's the fun part. You just have to give them the right programming. And you have to persist, right? You need to do this now, because when they come back, you think it's a wrap? It's not a wrap. You still have to persist. Okay? Okay. What do we learn? To persist. All right, let's see here. When will we do that timeline thing? And we will do that exactly where? We're going to do that on Zoom. Okay, so basically when you guys come to the event, you need to come, I'm not going to say in pajamas, but you need to come, thanks, Lisa sister. You need to come comfy. You need to be in a nice quiet place that's not to be disturbed. Okay, a lot of people like to lay down. That's fine. You don't necessarily have to have your camera off, so don't worry about it. You don't have to necessarily have your camera on, but you can lay down, you can sit in a chair, just don't be disturbed, because it's a visualization exercise that I walk you through so that you can jump into your SP's timeline. Okay? Good, Cece. Good. Now persist in that version. Something's broken with you, sister. We're gonna have to figure that out. Okay, we're gonna talk. There's a blockage there somewhere. So we're gonna figure that out. No, Sabrina, how can I forget your lovely face? Not at all, sister, okay? So today SP texted me good morning, but it was them saying they can't do this because they don't want to cheat on gutter trash. Okay. So then Jenny, what that means is that it means that you are viewing gutter trash as an obstacle still. Okay, because they're reflecting onto you, right? So if they're texting and saying that they can't do this because they don't want to cheat on gutter trash, that's because you somehow are viewing gutter trash as a reason you and SP aren't together, or as an obstacle standing in between you and SP. But you know what? Here's a good thing. Who gives a fuck what he said? I don't. And I know you don't. Who gives a crap what he said? All that is feedback for you, right? So instead it's like, okay, that's feedback. So where did I go wrong here? Where am I going wrong in my thoughts? Okay, I'm viewing gutter trash as somehow competition or standing in as an obstacle between me and SP. So I'm not going to do that shit anymore. I'm going to affirm gutter trash back to the dumpster she crawled out of, and I'm going to persist with me and SP. And then you will see the turnaround. But who cares? He's not cheating on gutter trash. For what? No. Bye, ho. Well, good, love and light. I hope it was a good thinking. Hey, Patriot. Everyone's invited. Teddy bear. I told you guys, though, I will be doing I'll be doing a training solely on jumping timelines, okay? So it'll be, if you're in the WhatsApp group, you'll get access to that training automatically, okay? If you're a member on my YouTube, you'll get access to that training automatically. If you are a part of the live event, you'll get access to that exclusive training automatically, so you can do it again and again and again. And then I will do a private, an exclusive TikTok live that will also walk you through that technique alone. So if you join that live, you'll get a copy of the recording. What do you mean, Love and Light? You can't stop texting him. Thank you, Patriot. I thought so too. What do you mean you can't stop texting him? Because I told you, if you're texting him and you're forcing the 3D, you're going to knock that shit off right whole ass now. Right now. Let's see here. And just like that, they blocked me without a trace. Jenny from the block. They didn't block you for no reason. Okay? This is a part where we have to be honest with ourselves, okay? They don't just block you out of the blue. They don't. There usually has to be a reason for the block. Hey, Lisa, sister. Oh, I'll contact you today, girl. There has to be a reason for the block. Something transpired to lead to the block, whether you were, texting him, forcing the 3D, which is usually what happens, and so forth. You create the block. But don't worry about it. Who gives a shit? Who cares? I literally shove down your throats. Who cares about being blocked? All the fucking time. All the time. No one cares. Stop breathing life into being blocked. Okay, because that is the current 3D. And you know what we say to the 3D? Don't repeat it in the comments because that's what gets us in trouble. That's what we say to 3D. Okay? So, if you're being blocked right now, who cares? Stop addressing it. Stop breathing life into that. Instead, you need to breathe life into the fact that they're always calling and texting you, that you're all they can think about, that they're obsessed with you. That's what you should be thinking about instead of being blocked. Did you not just hear me? Yesterday, somebody was blocked on everything, did the photo method again, and woke up this morning to a text from the same person that she was just blocked from less than 24 hours ago. It does not matter. Okay? Kiwi. Okay, so you manifested your SP. It was good. Now it's rocky again. The reason it's rocky again is because this all boils down to, I mean, I must say this shit like 80 times a day. It all boils down to how you're viewing her. What version of your SP are you seeing her as? How are you describing her right now? Okay, so if your SP, if it's rocky, your relationship right now, one, it's because you're reacting verbally to things, or two, or both, you're selecting the version of her you don't want based on current behavior. You can't do that. Literally can't do that. Okay, you need to start selecting only perfect person. Even when they're showing you the opposite, even when they're telling you the opposite, it doesn't matter. It literally doesn't matter. You have to select that version constantly because therefore it's like you're rocky today, tomorrow, everything is peachy keen jelly bean. Select that version over and over again, and guess what you're going to get every day? Peachy keen jelly bean. Over and over and over again. Because you're going to have like a perfect relationship. Everything's going to be perfect. Nothing's, are there times when maybe there's trouble in paradise? Of course, that's a relationship. But it's how you react to it that matters. Okay? So, Kiwi, what did you learn? Perfect SP. We're great. We have the best relationship. That should be your main affirmations. Love you, best creator. That's right, Dade. That's right. And don't veer off that path, my friend. Okay? Hey, Soul, what's up? Hey, Nesp. What do you suggest to stop thinking about SP 24/7? Worried about desperation, wanting energy. Okay. So, hey, Sarah Anna. Okay, so I don't give a damn. Look at it this way. When you're in a relationship with your SP or you're married to your SP, do you not think about them? Would you not think about them constantly? Thanks, QB. Of course you would. So it's not a bad thing. This is not desperation, wanting energy because you're thinking about SP often. Right? When you're in love with someone, you think about them often. When you're in a relationship with them, you think about them often. When you're married to them, you think about them often. There's nothing wrong with that. Okay? There's nothing wrong with that. You just need to make sure that when you're thinking about your SP, that it's in alignment with the version of your SP that you want. That your thoughts are not, when you're thinking about your SP throughout the day, that you're not thinking about the bad stuff or your current situation, but instead you're viewing her as perfect for you, right? And you're viewing her as everything you've ever wanted, right? You need to make sure that that's your thoughts when you're thinking about her throughout the day. Don't worry about it, boo. Do not worry about it. But definitely don't apply. You have to think about this, okay? I don't give a damn. You assign meaning to everything. So the last thing you want to do is assign meaning that the more you think about her, the more desperate and wanting her you are, right? Because that's not a good meaning. So instead, be like, yeah, of course. Every time I think leverage, Okay, this is where you leverage the law because you control her thoughts 100% of the time, right? So what I would do is say, every time I think of her, she thinks about me. Especially if you think about her often. So when you're thinking about her, just like she's thinking about me right now. Yeah, every time I think about her, she's thinking about me. She's thinking about me right now. So therefore, that's all she thinks about. Every time you think about her, they're thinking about you. Okay? Esprit, can you shoot your message back to the top, please? Thank you so much. How do I get her to talk to me differently and be more vulnerable? Okay, Mohammed. You get her to talk to you differently if you describe her differently. So let's say she's texting you and it's a bit of a dry text, or maybe they're rude text messages, right? Or even verbally communicating. You assign meaning to everything. So I don't care if she's actually acting rude and disrespectful. Got it, Esprit. So I don't care if she's actually acting rude. If you say, why is she so rude to me? Why does she talk to me so disrespectful all the time? She has no choice but to continue to talk to you that way. However, if every time you spoke to her, every time she texted you, no matter the attitude, that you sit there and say, she is so sweet to me. She's constantly sending me loving, sweet texts, right? And you start assigning that meaning to the communication with her. Is every time, no matter what it is, she could literally be like, fuck you. You're like, she is so sweet to me. She talks to me, she sends me the lovingest text in the world. She is so nice to me, literally. And you will see the tonality change. You will see the conversations start to shift, okay, and start to change. And but the key is to persist. So let's say you're doing this and she, all of a sudden you start to see that her text and her communication is a lot more nicer to you. But then all of a sudden she gets an attitude again. Sweet, loving text. She is so sweet to me. She is nothing but sweet and loving to me. She talks to me with so much respect. And you will start to get the full turnaround, but you can't react as the change is happening. Okay. And then how do you get her to be more vulnerable? You do that by describing her that way, where she tells me everything. She is constantly communicating her feelings with me. Right? So you're describing her in a way that makes her communicate more vulnerable to you. Okay, guys, hold on. I got to pause this for 2 hot seconds because I have to shift my seat. It's like digging in my back. Oh, that's a million times better. It was like digging in my back. Okay, and we're back. Oh, all right. That's right. It's already done. It's a wrapsy wraps. You're manifesting for me, but I think I need coaching too. I need discipline. Well, Ness, that would be true. A lot of people get both, right? Only because they need to discipline their mind so when they come back around, that they don't screw it up, or that they're not blocking their manifestation from coming, okay? So you're more than welcome to do that. You're more than welcome to do that so that we can discipline your ass and really get you focused on what it is that you want and only what you want and the version of your SP that you want, love, and expect them to be for you. Okay, bitch? Elena, missed the live yesterday. Was it about SP also? Yes, Elena. They're like 99.99% SP related, unless somebody throws a money question in here or a business success question. But yeah, they're SP related. It was an unannounced live yesterday. and it was supposed to be an hour. But funny story, when I went to go download the live, I was like, it was 3 hours. That's what happens when I have so many things to do, but get distracted. Sarah. Hey, see, I tell you guys need to, Sarah, she's coachable. She listens. Okay, which is why she gets movement very fast. And now she's having fun with it because this is exactly what you're supposed to be doing. And you could do that. I told you guys, cord cut all your exes from your past. Watch how quickly one of them reaches out. Okay, then you'll know. A lot of these things, what I would do is okay, here's my challenge to you guys. Okay, is I want you guys to test everything for yourself. Today, obviously, we do SPs, right? But after, I want you guys to do the photo method on somebody that you know that's not your SP. Okay? So do the photo method on somebody that you know, and you're going to tell them to contact you. Also, I want you to cord cut people. I want you to cord cut people that either past exes, coworkers, different things like that. Okay, that I want you to cut the cord with one of them and see what happens. Okay, see what happens, because what you'll find interesting is if you did the photo method on somebody that's not your SP. And then because you don't really care one way or another, remember, there's no resistance to other people in your life. Okay, you don't really give a shit one way or another about if they contact you or if they don't. It's not a big deal. So all of a sudden you'll do the photo method on somebody at random and boom, text, call, same day, maybe immediately. Within minutes, then you'll know. Then you'll be like, okay, so then that means that somewhere I'm creating a resistance barrier between me and my SP. Somewhere I'm not knowing that she would text me, or I'm resistant to that. I'm nervous about it, or I'm wavering on that because just like I did this on this person texted me right away. So the same energy and the same feeling that I had about this one where I really didn't give a crap, I need to plug into SP. And that's what I want you guys to do today with the photo method, even with your SP, is come from a place where I don't really give a shit. Don't really care. I'm going to do this for funsies. And I don't really give a shit. Okay? And see if all of a sudden your SP contacts you, because you're now coming from the perspective of, I don't give a shit. Because it's the things that you don't care about one way or another that manifest rather quickly. Remember, because there's no resistance there, because you don't care one way or another whether it happens. So that's the same thing with your SP. As I told you guys, that you guys have that story now. You've closed the loop. You know that story between you and your SP. You know how your first movie ends. Together in a relationship. So then I don't really care. I don't need to care about the time. I don't need to care about anything else. I already know how this pans out. So I'm going to do my part. I'm going to play my part, discipline my mind, and so forth. But I already know that we're going to be together. So what is there to worry about? I don't have to care. I know it's inevitable. Doesn't matter. Because you'll lower that resistance level. We need to lower that resistance level so you guys start getting what it is, that you want. Okay, Lexi. SP left me for someone else. I want to manifest him back, but it feels morally wrong. Okay. Why would it feel morally wrong, Lexi? Look at it this way. Okay, look at it this way. Instead of looking at it like SP left me for gutter trash, why don't you just be like, don't even acknowledge that first and foremost, but look at your past relationships, right? At some point in time, everybody you've dated has left their partner for you, in a sense. Okay, so it's not morally wrong, or you'd be single for the rest of your life because someone had to break up. Someone had to leave the relationship. So it's not morally wrong. You know what is morally wrong? If you're going to be all about the moral talk, what would be morally wrong is your SP leaving you for someone else. If you're going to be all like moral about it, right? But the thing is, what you're doing is not Manifesting an SP back is not taking away somebody's rights or any of that stuff. You're not doing that. It's entirely 100% their idea. Okay, so there's nothing morally wrong about that. It's their idea. Just like they had the idea to talk to somebody else, right? It's their idea. You caused it 1000%. However, it's still their idea at the end of the day. You're not taking anybody's morals away. You're not forcing anybody to do anything. You're not doing any of that shit. Forcing someone to do something would be like, luring them to your house, locking them in your basement until they conformed. Obviously, don't do that. But that would be like morally wrong if you wanted to go that direction. But there's nothing wrong with you manifesting someone that you love back. At all. At all. I sleep very well at night. Angel, how do you get them to call you? Well, you get them to call. Well, we're going to do the photo method. If you want to do it now, you're welcome to do it now. But I go into an explanation about it. But if you go to, maybe I'll probably redo. Maybe. I have to watch the video. It's not like it's long, but I'll watch the video and see if I need to add a more descriptive. That's probably actually, yeah. Because I did the photo method one a long time ago. But now that we do this one together, I've elaborated on like the preface, the pre-frame before the technique. So I'll probably re-record that video. But in the meantime, if you go to my page, it's pinned to the top of my profile. I'm wearing this top. There's like 40,000 views on it. So if you go and save that video, that's called the photo method. That's what you would do. That's what you can do to get him to call you today. Yes, today. As somebody did to get contact this morning from her SP that was blocked less than 24 hours ago. And within 30 minutes of her doing the photo technique, ping. That's the best part. That's the best part. Well, Flashy's got to talk to you about something, bitch. If you disregard the unwanted, why don't they assume you are a doormat? Okay, Natalie. Hey, AJ sister. I don't know what you're referring to. Okay, so you're not disregarding the unwanted. Okay, so you're not disregarding the unwanted, like letting somebody walk all over you. Absolutely not. Absolutely not. What you're doing is not reacting, because every time you react, how did that work out for you? Every time you stood up for yourself, pledged your case, how did that work out for you? It's not a special case, okay? It's not like, well, it didn't work out for me, but it works well for somebody else. No, it doesn't work well for anybody. Anytime this happens, it never works well at all. Everyone's result is the same. Okay, so you're not a doormat because you're disregarding the unwanted. You're not disregarding shit. You're changing it. That doesn't make you a doormat. Do you know what that makes you? Not a fucking doormat, bitch. It makes you a queen. Okay? Because do you think queens, let's think logically speaking here, do you think a queen is going to sit there and argue with her worker? No. For what? She's going to be like, excuse me? I don't think so. It's not worth my time to argue with you, because nothing comes out of that, because all that is doing is forcing the 3D, and I'm going to talk, 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 and it's going to fall on deaf ears. They're not going to understand. At the end of the day, they act like they don't give a shit what I have to say. Who cares? So you're not a doormat. Instead, you're taking control. You're taking control, because you're like, oh, okay, so you think I'm going to argue with you. This is what you think, is I'm going to argue with you? No, I'm going to shut the fuck up here. But in here, no. I'll change that behavior. Thank you very much. I don't need to talk to you about it. I'll change it for you. You're welcome. Thank you for trying. Play again. Oh, next one comes up. Oh, Okay, I understand. But in here, no, fuck that. I'm making a change. That does not make you a doormat. That puts you in the ultimate power. Okay? Good, Jackie. Good. You should think, exactly. You should think about your SPA. There's nothing wrong with that at all. So, some affirmations I've been using to manifest trash away is they argue all day. SP is disgusted. You guys got to type fast because sometimes by the time I go reading down the thing, there's like 55 more and I'm just trying to get to the rest of your sentence. Okay, Jenny. Yeah, some affirmations you need to manifest, get her trash away is that they argue all day, every day. He's disgusted by her. He wants nothing to fucking do with her. In fact, he fucking hates her ass. Everything she does annoys him. Everything she does annoys him. He wants nothing to do with her. Oh, Amric. This was not Tinder, my friend. This is not Tinder, Betty. Hey, son. It's incredible. These days, who needs a dating app when you have TikTok? No shade if you met your SP on TikTok. No shade. I mean, I feel like at least you know. At least you would know that they're real, right? Instead of just seeing like a couple profile pictures that they could have pulled off of, Google. I was on a dating app one time and the guy was smoking hot. Like he was smoking hot. And we were talking, but something gave me a vibe of being like he was not who he said he was. And so I told him to send me a picture of him saluting, right? You want to ask them to send you a picture that they probably don't have saved, right? Or they can't. Mina. And I told him to send me a picture of him saluting, and he said, "What's a salute?" I said, "Oh, okay. You're definitely," and he's in the military. I was like, "You're definitely not who you say you are." Fun fact, do you guys know what tromboning is? I didn't know, and then I found out. And now I can't undo. Well, good, AJ, because remember what dreams mean, girl. Remember what dreams mean. Any trick on staying persistent when you're impatient? Yeah, Nesp, you need to stick with it, okay? You need to persist. That's the thing, though. Because you're impatient, you have to leverage impatience, okay? You have to use impatience to work for you instead of against you. And the way you leverage impatience to work for you is by being so impatient that, you know what, fuck that. I'm going to persist. And I'm going to persist, and I'm going to keep persisting and persisting and persisting because I'm impatient. And if I am so impatient, then persisting should be a cakewalk. That's how I look at it. If I want what I want, and I want it when I want it. So because of that, if I need to persist, then that's exactly what I'm going to do because I'm impatient. Nothing wrong with that. I'm very impatient. But then you leverage impatience, okay, and say, because I'm impatient, I'm willing to do what's necessary, and that means persist. And I'm going to keep doing it. I'm going to keep doing it. And I'm going to keep doing it. Yes. Okay. What do you think about on an hour by hour basis when you were manifesting your SP? What was your mindset? I don't give a damn. I thought about them all the time. Right? Well, I spent 6 to 8 months down the law of attraction rabbit fucking hole, coming out of desperation, right? Because usually when you learn that you can manifest your SP back, usually there's desperate energy, very desperate energy, So like typically how it starts is this, right? Like you have a breakup. If you're not into manifestation before your breakup, like you have a breakup, then you start looking up on Google or YouTube how to get your ex back. Usually manifestation is not the first thing that pops in your mind. Okay. But you'll look up like how to get your ex back. And then you'll see, spells, love spells, different things like that. And so that's what I tried. I'd go to like Hobby Lobby and like stock up on the red pillar candles, all the things. Head on over to Pinterest, look at all the things that are like super easy, to that require the least amount of ingredients possible. And then I would do that. Then you do the crystals, right? Then you do certain things like that. Some of you do tarot card readers and psychics. Then you come across manifestation. And when you come across manifestation, it's law of attraction shit. And so now you don't know which video to do. You start reading the comments, right? And you're like, oh, this worked for so many people. It's got to work for me. And then you do it daily. I had a fucking video library of like 58 videos, manifestation daily videos. And I ran through them. But when I learned about, when I reverse engineered what led to this in the first place, I realized I didn't do none of that shit for the breakup. So why would I have to do any of that for the makeup? Then I saw law of assumption, right? So then I agreed with some of it, did not agree with other parts of it, because I realized that it's not about just affirming, or everyone would have it, logically speaking. If all I had to do was affirm, then everyone would have their SPs, right? So then I found out how to eliminate gutter trash. Then I found out how to manifest my SP. So what I did on an hour-to-hour basis is I affirmed. I did outside of working, because I was an entrepreneur coach. Okay. So I coached hundreds of entrepreneurs. So I was on the phone all day long, but I would cancel calls just so I could affirm. If I had a 5-10 minute break in between calls, I would affirm. Okay. I would affirm all the time as much as I could, because I knew myself. It wasn't that I would think negatively, but your mind always goes to the, I don't want to say the dark side, but you tend to think negatively, right? Or against what you want. And so I wouldn't give myself that option. So if that meant that I had to affirm freaking every second of the day, that's exactly what I did. But I only did that because hey Mandy, because I wanted what I wanted. But I'm not saying, here I don't tell you that I don't tell you what doesn't work. Okay. So I'm not going to sit here and tell you should affirm your life away or the shit ain't coming, because that's not true either. Okay. But you have to discipline yourself. You have to discipline yourself. So I affirmed as often as I could. I would listen to random YouTube videos that I would have my daily reminder YouTube videos. I would, where I would listen to them to remind myself to keep my thoughts in check. And then I would affirm. Some of the videos I've seen so many times, I could literally probably recite the video. But I would affirm during those videos. But I would listen to certain videos that would remind myself of who the fuck I was. And then when you start to see movement, then it's like, oh, now I'm going to double down. Blackjack, baby. Now I'm doubling down. And I would find things to distract myself. I would literally lay at the pool and I would make up signs. Everything was a sign. Everything was a sign. So I would literally lay at the pool and I would just be looking at the birds or whatever. Or because his balcony was right there, I would assume he's watching me. And do you think I got confirmation of that? Because I was in control. So that's where, if you haven't heard my story, I don't give a damn, go to my YouTube channel. I don't really talk about it here anymore, but go to my YouTube channel. And if you scroll right past the lives, you'll see it's a 35-minute video where I tell you my story. Okay. I think it's called How I Manifested My SP Back. I should probably start, instead of saying I think it's called, I should probably just look up what the fuck it's called. But I'm pretty sure that's what it's called. But I give you my entire story there. So, and I have to listen to it if I feel like listening to it again. Because I don't know if I talked about in there that I literally would put myself in situations where you guys get triggered by the stupidest of shit. Like you do. And I can only say that because I would put myself in situations that you guys would spiral. But I didn't. I didn't. And that's a confidence level. Okay, that's a self-concept level where, like I told you guys, his balcony was at the pool. There was gutter trash. I had to see them every day. So I would intentionally go walking at certain times to see her. You guys would spiral, but not me. Because for me, I was like, that was my attitude. Like, please, I get what I want and I get it when I want it. So I want my boyfriend back and I'm going to get him back. That was my attitude. That needs to be your attitude. I didn't question it. I'm not going to sit here and say I was this master ass bitch that didn't have any negative thoughts. No, I learned to control them. And I decided I learned to focus more on what I wanted than what I don't want. Because what I don't want doesn't make you feel better about yourself at all. Making up fictitious stories, I know what that's like too, but they manifest. So why would you want that? Okay? So because of that, I learned to not do that. So I would discipline my mind. I would affirm. So therefore, I wasn't filling in the blanks, making up stories that don't benefit me. I wasn't reacting because I looked at it like, please. I'm stubborn as fuck. I'm impatient. And you know what though? I've learned to leverage that and say, I get what I want. So nothing and no one is going to stand in my way. Period. I didn't even have to remind myself of that. That's just my attitude. So if I have to sit there every day and make somebody completely jealous of me, I will do that. Do you think I give a shit? Nope. Not at all. So there's that. And then I sit back and let it all play out. And that's what you guys need to do. You guys don't, your job is not to question every fucking thing. Your job is not to sit there and make up fucking fictitious stories that don't benefit you. Your job isn't to do any of that stuff. Any of that stuff. At all. At all. Because I didn't. I turned everything into motivation. I enjoyed every second that we spent together, every text message that we exchanged between each other. I enjoyed every one of those. You think I was going to slide back? Excuse me. No, fuck no. I was not. No, we're talking and I'm going to keep the conversation going. So if I need to discipline my fucking mind, that's exactly what I'm going to do. My want far outweighed anything else. So is it a bad thing for you to want to be with your SP? No, it's not. And don't ever let anybody tell you that. Don't everybody, oh, well, you're coming from desperation. No, I want what I want. I'm not going to be desperate about it because desperation forces 3D and does all that stuff. I'm not going to do that, but I certainly am going to get what I want. And I'm going to leverage the fact that I want this bad enough. I want to be with my boyfriend bad enough that nothing will stand in my way. And that's how you guys need to look at it. I want to be with this person bad enough that if I have to check every fucking thought that goes in my mind, that's what I'm going to do. If I have to discipline my mind and not let it go and make up stories that don't benefit me, then that's what I'm going to do. I'm going to do whatever I need to do because it isn't a lot of work. I'm going to do whatever I need to do to ensure that I get my outcome in the quickest time possible. So if you're impatient, then lock it in. If you won't lock it in and you won't discipline yourself, then you're not that impatient. I'm very impatient. So if I have to affirm all day long to ensure that my thoughts don't go to the opposite, that's exactly what I'm going to do. That's my suggestion to you. Again, I didn't say affirm your life away, but you need to decide, do I want it or not? Do I want it bad enough or not? Be honest with yourself. And don't lie to yourself, because if you want it bad enough, then you'll do what the fuck is necessary. You'll get a grip. You'll learn to shut the fuck up. You'll stop reacting, and you'll discipline your mind. Or you don't want it bad enough. It's really that simple. I didn't say you're never going to have a negative intrusive thought. I didn't say you're never going to waver. You will, but there's a delay. Spiral, no. That I don't understand. Because if you're spiraling, you're not doing what I said. Because either way it goes, you're spending time thinking a thought. So why would you allow yourself to spend 5 or 10 minutes spiraling in your thoughts versus the same amount of time thinking towards what you want and not spiraling? That I don't respect. I don't respect. I think it's a fucking cop-out. I think it's something that you're doing for sympathy. I spiraled today. Oh, I'm sorry. Did you want a cookie? Did you want a cookie? Because I don't give a fuck if you spiraled today. Grow up. Grow up. That's my message to you. I don't do co-hosting. Unless you want to debate some shit. That's right, Natalie. Is gutter trash going to win, or are you? I don't think you're going to let gutter trash win, are you? I don't think so. Okay, how do I manifest in 2 days though? Exactly what I said. You need to decide. You need to lock it in. Okay, because if you don't decide and lock it in, then what are you doing? What are you doing? You can't be like, how can I manifest something on a time crunch, but then I'm not willing to discipline my mind? Because to manifest something very, very fast, it requires a significant amount of discipline. A significant amount of discipline. Okay, and what I mean by that is you cannot waver as much as humanly possible. And you cannot look at that clock at all. You cannot worry about it. You cannot wonder. You cannot doubt. You cannot question anything. You have to literally have no doubt. Nope, I will get this in 2 days. Okay, the last leg of my manifestation came in 3. I actually declared the day. I was off by 5 whole minutes, but oh well. But I declared the day because I was done. I had wavered twice on the last step, and both times it slid back for a day or two. It's not like it slides back for months, guys. It'd be like a day or 2, and it would slide back. And so I said, I'm all done. I ain't wavering for shit anymore. It's going to happen. My full manifestation will be here by Tuesday. It came Wednesday at 12:05 a.m. in a way that I would have never, ever thought. Okay, so that's where the how you don't have to worry about. The how's not your problem. But if you want to manifest quickly in a time crunch, then you need to discipline yourself. It requires extreme discipline to the fact where, and I'm not going to say that you won't be triggered, but that's when you affirm. Okay, I cried because I thought I had a momentary, like I was literally just trying to help. I was trying to help, but that was forcing the 3D. And so I cried, but then I was like, oh, this is what they mean affirm through the tears. So I started affirming through the tears. Nothing happened. Nothing went wrong. I didn't question shit, and I woke up to him. And that's all you need to do. Okay? I need your help. Should I be consistent with my affirming? Oh, yeah. I already talked to you about that. But again, Megs, if you want to manifest something in 2 days, hey, Haley sister, then You can't be asking questions like, should I be consistent in affirming? You're damn fucking right you should. You're damn right you should. 20 as much as possible. If you can't discipline your mind. Okay, if you can't discipline your mind, then yes, you should. But you need to make the decision and know that it's done. Like, okay, let's say Monday. I will have my full manifestation on Wednesday, period. I'm deciding. I'm not going to question it. I'm not going to check. I'm not going to waver. And I don't give a shit if it's 11:59. You can't waver. You can't panic the closer it gets. Because unfortunately, that's the only problem with dating something. With dating something is people start counting the clock. Okay, they'll start counting the clock and be like, oh my God, where's it at? Where's it at? I have 4 hours left. You can't do that. You can't do that. I didn't do that. When I declared the date, I went about my business. And I did exactly what I have been doing. The only difference was I made the decision to not waver. Okay, but I did exactly what I've been doing the whole time. But when I decided not to waver and made that choice, I made that fucking choice. So I went to bed like it was another fucking day to get woken up to my full manifestation in the middle of the night. Because I didn't focus on the fact that it's Tuesday, where's it at, Nope. I declared the date, never thought about it again, and kept doing what I did. Look at that. Hasn't updated in a while, but she got her SP. So keep going, y'all. That's right, y'all. Keep going. Okay? That's like that's the rolling trend. You do understand this. That's the rolling trend is persist. No matter what. You persist. Good, Lisa. That's growth. Because there's nothing to cry about unless they're happy tears because, you've written the end of your movie. I know how this is going to turn out. Nothing can stop it except for me. I don't need to worry about it. Nothing to stress, nothing to question, nothing to check. That man is mine. And that's all I need to know. And so you should see, since you have a sense of calmness now, and you're not crying as long as you'll persist and discipline yourself, you should see movement. Because you're more at peace now than anything else. Because usually when breakups first happen or whatever, you're very desperate. It's desperate energy, trying to do anything and everything to get your SP back, which is why nothing you do works. Because you're trying 25,000 things. And you guys are reading into 25 million things. If you guys don't ask me some shit that's like basic, I don't have an answer for you. I don't. There's plenty of other people on TikTok and YouTube that get all into the nitty gritty weeds and scientific old thing. I don't do any of that. For what? Because when you're consciously manifesting, okay, subconscious manifesting is something you've done your whole life, right? But when you are now consciously manifesting, like I've told you guys before, in case you're new here, my entire background is on the subconscious mind. Okay, so I know very well how it works, and it's far more intricate than just manifesting. Okay, so a lot of people try to talk about the subconscious mind, but they don't know how it actually works, other than what they read online. Okay, but my entire background is on the subconscious mind. I've got the certifications and all that shit. But here's the thing: when you're consciously manifesting, that means that you have to. You have the conscious mind and the subconscious mind. And in between both is what's called the critical factor. Okay, so the conscious part of your brain, the conscious part of your mind is the analyzer, the logical thinker. It has to make sense to your conscious mind. It's also your protector, which is why there's a critical factor, which is why you only consciously remember certain parts. Like you'll have certain memories of your life, but you won't have other memories. That's because that's your protector. Your subconscious mind knows everything about you. So you may know that you've had a traumatic event in your childhood, but you may not recall the event consciously. That's because your conscious mind has a job to protect you. Okay, so it's like if you're falling when you're having a dream and you're diving off a cliff, you will wake up because your conscious mind will wake you up to protect you. Okay, so it's the protector, it's the analyzer, and the logical part of your mind. So if you're consciously manifesting, it has to make sense to your conscious mind so that it goes into, because the critical factor has one job: to accept or reject information, to go into your subconscious mind. Okay, because it's your protector. So it has to logically make sense to your conscious mind. So therefore, your critical factor accepts the information and it goes into your subconscious mind. So if you're too into the woods, too into the woo-woo shit, and logically speaking, it doesn't make sense to your conscious mind, it rejects it into your subconscious mind. So it doesn't go into your subconscious mind, which is where your assumptions are formed, which is where your assumptions are stored, which is where your beliefs are stored. So if it's not going in there, what are we fucking doing here? Okay. So that's where, for me, I always bring a logic into manifestation because it consciously has to make sense to you. If it does not make sense to you, which is why I don't like people that say there's no logic in manifesting. Manifesting is not logical. True, but it has to make sense to you. If it does not make sense to your conscious mind, it will reject it. Therefore, it's never going into your subconscious mind. Make sense? So that's why I say, if you're watching people, then you need to know that if it doesn't make sense to you, click off their video. Because it has to make sense to you. It has to make sense to you. Whether it's my videos or someone else's video, it has to make sense to you. If not, then just be like, I'm going to reject that. Thank you. And if anybody tries to tell you you're not in control of shit, click off their videos too. And if anyone ever tells you can't manifest people, they don't know what they're fucking talking about either. So click off their videos too. Okay? Okay. Regarding my pool story, what's the difference between that and forcing the 3D? Okay, good question, Adam. Okay, so I don't give a damn. The difference between that and forcing the 3D is I was doing me with an intention. Okay? So I wanted to, in essence, if you will, stay top of mind and show him what he's missing all day because I'm petty. Okay? But forcing the 3D is knocking on his door, holding out a sign at the pool, doing things like that to force, that's forcing the 3D. Going like to the grocery store because they're at the grocery store is not forcing the 3D. Now going up and talking to them because they're there and pleading your case and doing things like that is forcing the 3D. If your SP worked at the grocery store and you happen to go there because he works there, that's not forcing the 3D. But forcing the 3D is taking physical action, like taking action, verbalizing, doing things like that. So me being at a community pool wasn't forcing the 3D. Okay. Now, if I would have yelled when he was on his balcony, or I would have turned up my speaker playing love songs, stupid little shit like that, that would have been forcing the 3D. Having conversations on my phone loud enough so that he can hear them, that is forcing the 3D. Okay. Things like that. Reacting to things because I'm out there forcing the 3D. But getting a tan and making sure he sees my ass, not forcing the 3D. Okay. But because there was no contact there. Look at it that way. Forcing the 3D is contact between you and SP, but a desperate contact. Not like a, hey, how's it going type thing, because like I would see him around the complex before and he'd wave and I'd wave back. That's not forcing the 3D. Forcing the 3D would be me waving, him waving back, parking my fucking car, getting out and going to have a conversation with him. That is forcing the 3D. Okay. So there's a difference between the two. Haley, what did you do, bitch? What did you do? Sorry, guys, I didn't take calls. I had a couple calls yesterday that were scheduled, but I was not going to just like jump on the phone. I have to set boundaries. Okay. Healthy boundaries for myself mainly. But I was like, if I take these random calls on Easter, it's only Easter, it really wouldn't have been a big deal. But then I'm like, but then what, because I ran into this problem with my entrepreneur clients because I coached hundreds of them. Then it's like, then what? Now they think they can call me on Christmas, whenever the fuck they want, midnight, right? Things like that. And so I was like, I'm not going to do that. I'm not going to do that. My daughter, she stays in her room 24/7. So we had a date to paint eggs and shit. So, and make cookies. So I chose to do that. I've lost my creative juices as my daughter is the one that made she made all the basic ones. I made the alien and shit. Also, when you say discipline your mind, what would your dictionary definition of that be? Okay, Adam, I don't give a damn. Discipline your mind means exactly that. Discipline your mind. Meaning that shall a negative thought come up, you go, nope. Perfect girlfriend. Perfect girlfriend. We have the best relationship. Perfect girlfriend, best relationship. You think about the legal issue. Nope, that's already been resolved. That's totally already been resolved. That's disciplining your mind. What's not disciplining your mind is thinking about all the things preventing her from contacting you and spending 10, 20 minutes just spiraling, negative thought after negative thought after negative thought, crying on the couch, feeling so fucking sorry for yourself, having negative thought after negative thought after negative thought. And oh my God, that's not disciplining your mind. Disciplining your mind is picking up your fucking, putting your big boy pants on and saying, screw that. Screw that. I want what I want and I want it bad enough. So I'm going to discipline every thought that comes into my fucking head. And if it goes against what I want, I'll flip it on the spot and I'm going to flip it again and I'm going to flip it again, or I'll just affirm as much as possible. That is disciplining your mind. But good question. Man, I don't give a damn. Look at all you. I don't give a damn. You're educating people around here, just so you know, because you're just asking all the questions. Yeah. And yeah, there you go. And the simplest term of disciplining your mind, it is get a fucking grip. That's what it means. Get a grip. That. Yeah, I mean, that's right. That's right. Because you know what? But that's what wakes you guys up sometimes is by, like, I'm not going to sit here and be like, oh, I wish you fucking would. Oh, because people try. They try. They'll come in my messages and they'll be like, Jen, I made a mistake. That's like the first thing they say. And I'm like, what mistake did you make? And then they'll tell me how they fucking spiraled. They did this, that, and the fucking third. And I'm like, I'm sorry, do you want me to feel sorry for you? I don't feel sorry for you. But I will fucking bitch at you. Because you know who's not going to restrict me? WhatsApp. Text messages. I can say whatever the hell I want in my community. So if that means I need to yell at you and bitch at you for 20 minutes, I can certainly do that and not feel any type of fucking way about it. And go about my life, breathe, and go enjoy the rest of my night and let you think about what I just said. Yes, because it doesn't help you. Nadine. No, Nadine, when he comes back, you and I are going to need to talk. Because you're going to need to keep him. Okay? You're going to need to keep him. And by doing that, it means everything. Yeah, you can't swear in the comments. Yeah, we're learning here. That means everything, Nadine, that you have done up until this point, you're going to do the complete opposite. That's how you're going to keep him. Everything you've done, total opposite. Not even one thing you're keeping. Total opposite. Everything. Total opposite. Okay? Total opposite. Nadine, if you check out on the you have to buy it first, girl. You have to, or I'd get a shit ton of forms. You have to check out for the manifest for you, and then it redirects you to a form. But then here's the thing: it redirects you to a form with a link to book a call with me. So you need to right click. I try to give you guys as easy description as possible. You need to right click on the link, open it in a new window, and submit the form, and then book the call with me. Okay. You might need a 30-minute call though, Nadine. I'm just kidding. Yes, baby, I will. I will. Hola, Christina. Okay, so extreme discipline is a two-folded thing, okay? So extreme discipline is twofold. So you need to be extremely disciplined in your thoughts about everything. This is like not just SP related, guys. You need to be disciplined in your thoughts about every fucking thing. So like if you're thinking about how like you don't have any money, right? Or you're paying bills and you're like, this is leaving me broke. You need to flip that thought, because who the hell's trying to be broke? So it's like you need to get really good about flipping the thoughts of every fucking thing. You're thinking about your health. Maybe you're thinking about a health issue you have. Nope, I've always been perfectly healthy. Always been perfectly healthy. Thanks, Becky, girlfriend. Okay, you have like any thought you have that goes against what it is that you want, against dream fucking life and everything being perfect in your life. You need to flip that thought. It's not just for SPs, because who the hell wants to be with your SP but be homeless because you're broke? I don't. So you need to be, disciplining your mind could be about anything. You just have to think about what it is that you want. So let's say you don't want to affirm for SP all day long. You don't have to. Okay. You can literally affirm for money. You still can't think negatively about SP if you're affirming for money, because you cannot think two thoughts at the same time. Go ahead, try right now. Try thinking two opposing thoughts at the same time. You can't do it. So you can't think two thoughts at the same time. So therefore, it doesn't matter what you're affirming for. You could be affirming for money, you could be affirming for health, you could be affirming for business success. SP, it doesn't matter. You still can't think negatively about SP if you're affirming for something else. Doesn't matter what it is. Okay. On top of that, this is why I tell you guys, if you can't shut your thoughts off and you're spiraling, then what you need to do is take your little happy ass outside, unless you're Sarah, because she was walking through the park she was walking through the park. I think she was saying her affirmations, or she was yelling at her SP in the photo method through the park, but she's doing it out loud. And so people were looking at her. And then I think she said, one person said, "You tell him." I was thinking about that the other night, Sarah, and that had me dying. Okay. But that's the point. If you're spiraling in your thoughts, then take your little happy ass to your car and say them out loud, because you cannot think and speak at the same time. Go ahead, try. You can't do it, which is why if you're working and you're typing like on the computer or whatever, and you're working and then you need to think, like you're trying to write an email, you have to stop what you're doing to think. And typically your eyes will move up to think, right? Because you're trying to access information. And then you go back to working, okay? But you can't think and speak at the same fucking time. Okay, so that's why you should speak. So discipline is twofold. You're disciplining your mind when it comes to your thoughts, and you're also disciplining yourself in the version of your SP that you're selecting. You need to focus on the version of your SP you're selecting. You must discipline there too. And no matter what you see is, nope, perfect SP, perfect SP, perfect SP. Hey, Danny, what up, brother? I think I'm mostly former BT, want to make sure, practically speaking, how do you stay in having? Thanks, Haley sister. How do you stay in having? I wouldn't say you need to necessarily stay in the state of having, okay? But in the state of knowing. Okay, I don't give a damn. You need to be in the state of knowing, not having. Okay, so it's like, because if you're in the state of knowing, like knowing it is done, like it's a wrap. I know exactly how this ends, right? Movie number 1 ends with us together. I know this. So I'm going to know that I'm just going to stay in that knowing, and I'm going to affirm to discipline my mind, but I'm just going to know and tell yourself that. You can tell yourself that. Like, I know we're getting back together right now. I know we're getting back together right now. It's inevitable. I know this. I know she loves me. I know she cares about me. I know she wants to be with me right now. You can tell yourself all of that. Okay. But just stay in the knowing that it's done. It's going to happen regardless. And you can remind yourself of certain things, like, I know that the only thing that can stop my manifestation is me. And I don't quit, and I don't fold. So if I'm the only one, hey, poor time sister, thank you. If I'm the only one that can stand in the way and stop my manifestation, well then, it's a wrap. There's nothing to question, because I know that I'm not quitting. I know that I'm not giving up. And I'm the only one that can stop it. So that's it. That's all she wrote. And she's the easiest for me to manifest any fucking way. So there's that part. Okay. That's how you stay more into the knowing, not having. Okay. Not having. Now, when you're in the relationship, then yeah, you can step into the having, right? But it's just knowing. That's what I want you to focus on, is knowing. Like, that's my girl, period. Nothing to question. Nothing to check. Not at all. Thanks, Pa. Where you been? Where have you been, Pa? I'm thinking of changing mine to something funny. With my daughter, I said, I am going to have a baby. Doctors would not do IVF. Said, don't waste your money. Well, organically zen skincare, who gives a fuck what the doctor said? Who cares? Who cares what the hell the doctor said? Ooh, I'm a little late, but I don't know if she's still on here. But if you guys are looking for a solid candle company, other than James Budden, of course, but It's a Good Vibe candles. Nice candles. She sent some to me as a gift. Yeah, she has killer candles, guys. And they got crystals in them too, guys. They got crystals in them too. And glitter. And they're awesome. They're freaking awesome. And it comes in like a dope ass box. Check her out. Okay. You're welcome, son. I'm texting, welcome to Mo. I'm texting SP now and trying not to force a 3D, asking if he is coming to see me this week. Well, Mo, your situation's different because you guys are like together. If you pick up what I'm putting down, Mo. So there's ways to go about it. Okay. First of all, welcome to Mo. I need you to know that he's coming to see you this week. Okay. Just be like, yeah, he's definitely coming to see me this week. He can't stand to be away from me. He literally can't stand to be away from me. He needs to be near me all the time. Okay. You wouldn't have to ask if he's coming to see you this week if you would tell yourself he fucking is, bitch. Okay? Tell yourself he is. Okay? Tell yourself he absolutely is. Then he'll bring it up. Or do the photo method and be like, you're coming to see me today. Then you don't need to ask, do you? Nope. Nothing to ask. What do? You give commands. We don't need to ask. So do it. And then let me know that he came to see you this week, bitch. Did I make that? That's right, girl. CC, I even got, hey, Jimmy, I even got new bathing suits and everything. Mm-hmm. When you know, you know. When you know your man, you know. Hey, Wendy, sister. Yeah, well, you know, you can always see him looking. Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. Which I laugh now because his place used to have this big giant tree that would be in front of his window. They'd chop that shit down. I was like, damn, he had been all exposed and everything. Mm-hmm. I mean, he enjoyed watching. Okay, do I have to really detach before I can improve my self-concept? No, no, Janae. No, you do not have to detach from anything. I do what you need to detach before you can improve your self-concept. No, you do not. Okay. The only thing you should be detaching from is old story, old bad story, right? Old version of SP that you don't like. Those are the only things that you should be detaching from. But detaching from the outcome, detaching from your SP for what? For what? Because I was having a conversation with a client this morning about it, because your self-concept should never, ever be attached to your relationship, ever. Those two are totally different things. Okay, but so often, so many of us will allow our SPs to affect our self-concept or to impact our self-concept because they say something, you listen to them. Because people love to tell you about yourself, right? They love to tell you about things that you need to work on, things about yourself that we take personal, especially women. We tend to take things personal, right? And so therefore it affects our self-concept. But your self-concept and your relationship should never be intertwined. Ever. Ever. Okay? Because you should think that you are the baddest bitch regardless of who you're with. You should know your worth regardless of who you're with. You should know what kind of woman you are regardless of who you're with. Okay, you should know who you are, and no one should ever take that away from you. Because people will try. People try to tell you about yourself, and you're like, okay. Oh, I'm sorry. Did you want me to tell you about yourself too? I don't think so. So, everyone's entitled to an opinion. But I don't need to listen. And you don't either, right? Because what he did is he's not detached from his SP, but instead he looked at himself in the fucking mirror and said, yeah, I'm a hot fucking dude. Yeah. Like I'm a catch. And do you know what happened after he did that? People started hitting on him. Because they see him now differently. People only see you how you see yourself. Period. So I don't think you absolutely don't need to detach to improve your self-concept. All you need to do this self-concept thing has been so freaking overrated. It's ridiculous. Like it's been so overcomplicated. And I mean, I guess because if you like are teaching people how to do self-concept, I mean, you have to make a bunch of content, right? I mean, you do. As a content creator, you have to keep making up content. But literally, all you need to do is the mirror technique. Look at yourself every time you walk by that mirror and just be like, I'm a bad bitch. I have perfect self-concept. I'm perfect. I'm absolutely perfect. Self-concept problem solved. You don't need to have 2,500 affirmations on self-concept. Like, that's fucking stupid. Who has time for that shit? You don't need to, why would you need to have 25,000 affirmations on self-concept when you can just have one umbrella affirmation that implies everything underneath that, right? I am perfect. Well, that implies that you're good enough, that you are worthy of love, that you are hot as shit, that you're freaking special, that you're unique, that you're right? See what I'm saying? All of that is covered under the umbrella affirmation. You only need one affirmation for self-concept. Umbrella that bad boy. and have one umbrella affirmation. An umbrella affirmation is it's like saying I'm a master at manifesting. Everything in my life is perfect. Isn't it wonderful? These are all umbrella affirmations because it implies that everything in my life is perfect. Or isn't it wonderful? That means that I'm literally living my dream life. I have the perfect relationship with me and my SP. I have great health. I have plenty of money. My business is successful. Whatever it is that you want, that's exactly what that implies, that you have it all. Okay, that's an umbrella affirmation. All of you should have one umbrella affirmation because who the fuck has time to waste? I don't. Why would I need to affirm for every area of my life when I could just affirm for everything being perfect? I'd rather do that instead. I know, Victoria. She loves her room. She's talking about moving her bed. I was like, who's moving your bed? It ain't me. Jen, do we purchase a call with the manifest for me? Yes, Nadine, all of the above. Do you purchase a call with the manifest? No, well, it depends, Nadine. It's entirely up to you. You get when you get the manifest for me, you get a 15-minute phone call with me. But the 15-minute phone call, all you're doing on the 15-minute phone call is we're recreating your SP together. And then I give you your basic affirmations and then tell you how to run with them, how to play your part so that you're not reacting to the turnaround and all that stuff. And then what to expect. If you want a whole ass conversation on like more in depth, then yeah, people will get both. They'll get the manifest for me plus a call. So therefore we go more in detail and we really lay out a nice crisp plan. So it works faster. Okay. Flashy's good. Flashy's amazing. Bevy, she's good. Okay. Love and Light, you were on here yesterday, bitch. So you know what? Here's the thing. When you first come across my live, you get one fucking shot. You get one shot. And there's a lot of people that come across here that are hot messes sometimes. Is what it is. I tell you to your face, I don't really have anything to hide. Okay. However, after that, well, then this is when Bitchy Jen comes out. Because why the fuck are you still referring to John as a narcissist? And why are you still texting him? Do you want him to stay away? Is that why? Are you texting him so he hates you? Because first of all, define a narcissist. So if you're repeatedly texting, according to you, if you're repeatedly texting a narcissist, how do you think he's taking your text? Go ahead. If I was a narcissist, because narcissist, you know what narcissist means? They're all about themselves. So if you are blowing up a narcissist's phone, how do you think he's perceiving those texts? So what the fuck are you doing? What are you doing? You were here yesterday, so you need to stop. Stop right now. What part of stop forcing the 3D is unclear? What part of that is unclear? But you can't stop texting him. How's that working out for you? How is that working out for you? Is he responsive? Is he responding and telling you, oh my God, this is so amazing. Please keep going. This is so fantastic. Thank you so much. Please keep going. Just please keep bothering me. Is that what he's saying? Or are you talking to yourself? Because if you're talking to yourself, then what are you doing? You may as well keep texting him without pressing that send button. Text and delete, text and delete, text and delete. Because what are you doing? You're doing nothing but chasing, which means John is here and you're here. Stop it. Stop it now. Put your fucking phone down. Turn it off. I don't give a shit. But stop texting him. And if you call him a narcissist again, well, unless you're obsessed with narcissists, which who the fuck likes narcissists? I don't. So if you don't like a narcissist, then stop referring to him as that way. And stop texting him. Now. Right now. Because let me give you your love and light. I gotta stop doing this shit for free, guys. Let me give you your psychic reading for the day. Love and light. If you continue to do things the way you're doing it now, John and you will never be together. Now, here's your second psychic reading. If you stop the bullshit, act like an adult, go into your mind palace and do all the work and do exactly what I tell you to do, then you and John will absolutely get back together. But this is where you start now. Because what is your game plan? You start now. You have to start now. Because if you don't, your relationship will end the exact same way it ended before. You and him not together. So you have to do things differently now. You have to stop reacting. You have to stop pleading your case. Stop begging and acting thirsty. Stop chasing. Stop reacting. Stop doing all the things. And see him differently, for fucking Christ's sakes. Do you understand? Love and light. Hey, Ashley sister. I mean, it says it all in your fucking name, bitch. Yes, Amanda, we do need to be disciplined in all areas of our life. That's right, Angela. Stay the course. Okay, stay the course. No back and fucking forth anymore. We don't want back and forth anymore. It's one goddamn direction. You are not in a bumper cars. You are in a fast track. Okay? Oh, sorry. I meant a speedway. We're not going to pivot from that. Okay? We're not pivoting from that. We are not sliding back. We are not sliding back. So if you have 50K in investment stocks, how do I manifest it? You want to manifest the cash, Flashy? Because girl, if you already have 50K in investment stocks, you want to manifest it to increase? Because if you want to manifest it to increase, then it's like, I have 50K in stocks. So instead you would say how much you want to have in there. You could be like, every day my stocks increase. Every day my stocks go up. Every day my stocks go up. I got 100 grand in investment stocks right now. Okay. Every day they go up. I make the best investments. Okay. Everything I invest in grows. Okay, any of those type of things is what you would want. Abby. See? That's how I have to learn. I mean, if it works, I'm going to yell at her photo in the park too. We're going to have a bunch of people going around yelling at people's photos in the park. Looking like y'all got Tourette's or some shit. And they're like, who's she talking to? You know what you could do, though, is just put in an earbud. So, so it looks like you're actually talking. Then you just like, oh man. How the fuck do you sing nursery rhymes and affirm your SP's obsessed with you? Ellie. Okay. First half of a question. What does state of having feel like versus the state of wanting? The state of having isn't. Is it a feeling? It's not a feeling. None of these are feelings. Okay. Well, that's not true. The state of having, if you're going to apply a feeling to it, it would be more of a relaxed, calm feeling, right? Like if you know, like, look at it this way, like, you know, you're going to work tomorrow, right? Do you feel some type of way about it? You really don't, right? So you're just like, you're neutral in feelings. You kind of have just a relaxed, calm feeling because you just know, right? It's kind of like, you know, you're getting paid and tomorrow. So is that. Now, wanting money, like let's say you have no money and you want money, right? Well, now what is that? It's kind of, that's where anxiety comes into play. That's where kind of panic mode comes into play. Your thoughts start going the wrong side because you're saying, you're looking at like, I want money, I need money. Like, I don't have money. And so you're coming from this wanting state. And when you're coming from a wanting state of not having something, then that's when, it creates that anxiety. You have more of an anxious feeling inside of you, like, because you want something, right? Think about anything that you actually want. You have that feeling versus the feeling of more of a calm, relaxed, I just know type feeling. Does that make sense? I feel like in my mind, that made a lot of sense. You tell yourself to shut up when I get a thought I don't like. No, Nina, actually somebody else. I was talking to somebody on my call today and he was like, I just remember what you said. He goes, I was in your life and I just remember what you said. Shut the fuck up. He's like, so if I find myself saying that, I just say, shut the fuck up. Shut the fuck up. Don't react. Shut the fuck up. I was like, that's right. Jackie, where the fuck have you been? Hey, Jackie. The name of the WhatsApp group is Manifestation Besties. Oh God, thank God, Lisa. Thank God, Lisa, because you had me panicked for a hot little second. You had me panicked when I saw Chat GPT, bitch. I was like, oh God, what did you do with Chat GPT? So, all right, guys. We are going to hold your questions. Hold your questions. Yeah, Jacques. Let me answer your question first and foremost. Some coaches say that manifesting in steps will take longer or keep you stuck at certain stages. Any thoughts? They're full of fucking shit. They're full of shit. So this is why I can't go into other people's lives. Because if I don't agree, then I feel like I have to tell the audience. Where I'd have to be like, that's actually not true. Because I want to help the audience. Not buy into that shit. See, so I got to discipline myself. But they're full of shit. Because I've had so many people come to me and say, I have been living in the end of marriage for 2 years, 3 years, no movement at all. It wasn't until I started doing what Jen said and manifesting in steps that I started getting results very quickly. Because it's very hard for you to, that's the thing, is it takes longer or keep you stuck at certain stages. No, here's the thing. They're actually contradicting themselves. And I'll tell you why they're contradicting themselves. They're saying manifesting in steps will take longer and keep you stuck at certain stages. Do you know what that means? That means that you're actually getting progress. Now, what's their opinion on manifesting when you're in no contact and living in the end of marriage? You tell me which one's going to get you quicker results. Living in the end of contact or living in the end of marriage? It certainly isn't going to be marriage. I've had so many people do that where they have literally said, son, is the printer following you? I have another stalker. It's the printer. But yeah, so they don't know what they're fucking talking about. They don't know what they're talking about. I can guarantee you that if you're in no contact, living in the end of marriage will be a much longer process than living in the end of contact, relationship. You know what I'm saying? There's a shit ton of people that have gotten way more movement when nothing else worked for them in 2 years because they were living in the end of, marriage. That's fucking stupid. That's so stupid. They don't even know what they're talking about. And take longer? Well, if 4 weeks is a long ass time, well, then I guess. But again, those people don't know what they're talking about. That's the stupidest saying that you have $50 in your bank account right now and you're supposed to live in the end of millionaire. Okay. Why don't you live in the end of thousandaire first before you can wrap your head around millionaire? You know what I'm saying? That tells me all I need to know about those people. They don't know what they're fucking talking about. And they're the ones that give advice but haven't actually gotten shit. Right? They just go out there and tell you what to do. But they haven't gotten anything. There's that. It's kind of like the person that loves to tell you what to do and won't show you his face, but all you see is the ceiling of his, wherever the fuck he is. Here's my, call what you fucking want. I don't give a shit. I have no filter on my thing. So call it what you want. Here's my logical reason he doesn't show you who he is. I told you guys yesterday, a couple reasons, but here's my newest assumption. Is we judge a book by its cover. It's our human nature. Okay? It's human nature to judge a book by its cover. And so I feel like if he showed you who he was, people would judge a book by its cover. And you'd be like, I don't think he's manifested shit. So therefore, he won't show you who he is. And because most likely he's parroting advice and God forbid you know who he is. Be careful what you're out there consuming on the internet. Although I will tell you, I'm slightly flattered because somebody told me today that they found me from somebody else's group because I mentioned in several people's groups. I've hit the big league, bitches. They're like, yeah, they mention you on, he goes, I've been in a couple other TikTok lives and they mention you. And right away you're like, they better not be talking shit because if they are, I want a list of names. That's the pettiness of me. He's like, no, he goes, they're like, what TikTokers do you think, what manifestation coaches do you suggest listening to? And I've been listed as one of them in several groups. Thanks, guys. I love you. Besties. All right. So let's do the photo method. Let's cut the shit. Okay. But I just found it flattering that people are mentioning me in other manifestation communities. But you know what? I will tell you they're right. You should listen to me. But it is because I, know what I'm talking about. We'll just start in the obvious. Okay. So, all right, guys. So hold the questions. We're going to do the photo method right now. Okay. I'm going to switch it around today. I want to do the photo method first, and then I want to cut the energy cord. Okay. Oh, that's what she did. That's right. That's what she did. She cut the energy cord with her SP, who she was blocked. And she did my energy cord cutting, and she got contact 20 minutes later. Okay. So I want you guys to get a picture of your SPs out. And I want you to go down memory lane for one hot little second. Okay, I want you to forget the current version of your SP. That version of your SP no longer exists. Okay, I want you to only right now go back to a time in your relationship where everything was perfect, completely perfect. How would you have described that person back then? How did she make you feel? I want you to recall that perfect person right now. Just think about them for 20 seconds on everything that made them your perfect person. Okay? That is now who your SP is. No other version of your SP exists right now except for your perfect person. The person who contacts you all the time, who's constantly nothing but loving and sweet to you, who is constantly showing you attention, who just will do anything to be with you, who wants to love you. All of that is now the version of your SP that you are selecting right now, and only right now. So from now, in this point forward, the only version of your SP is your perfect person, the one that you just recalled right now. Okay? Now, because of that, you're going to bring that person into the point of now, right now. And they're in your current reality right now. They're waiting for you to give them permission to contact you, to talk to you, to text you, to spend time with you, to want to be with you, to love you. They're waiting for your permission to allow them to do that. But now that you've selected your perfect person, you're giving them permission. You're expecting and knowing that they're going to contact you or come and see you and be with you right now. Just like when everything was perfect in your relationship, you never questioned if you would hear from them. You never doubted if they would contact you, talk to you. Not at all. You just knew that you would hear from them because you hear from them all the time. Well, that same knowing is what you're going to know right now because this is your perfect person. Okay? If you are new here, you're going to put on your crown. If you are not new here, you're going to straighten your crown. Because here, we get what we want and we get it when we want it. We don't take no for an option, okay? We get what we want, we get it when we want it, and we don't try. We expect. We don't hope. We get. Do you understand? When a queen and king gives a command, do they doubt, question, check, wonder if their wish will be fulfilled, if their command will be carried out? No. When a king and queen gives a command, they just know that it will be done. They just know that it's done. There's no checking. There's nothing to check. Well, you are the king and the queen of your reality. No one is above you in your own damn house. What you say goes. No exceptions. Your SP is not an exception. So right now, you're going to give your command to your SP and you're just going to know that it is done, that they don't have a choice. They will do it. Okay? If you're in no contact or you are in contact with your SP, but it is not consistent contact, then you are going to look at them and you're going to look at their photo and you're going to tell them to contact you. Okay? So whether you want to say, he's contacting me right now. Whether you want to say contact, calling or texting, doesn't matter. However they would naturally reach out to you is how they're going to reach out to you. So you can literally sit there and say, love and light. What the fuck do you mean that was John in the beginning? No, it's him now. It is him now. Okay, so you're going to look at his photo and you're going to say, you're texting me right now. If you're alone, say it out loud with a little bit of backbone. If you're not alone, say it in your mind. Don't look like a wacko, okay? Say, you're texting me right now. You're texting me right now. You are texting me right now. You are texting me right now. If you're in consistent contact with your SP, then you have two options. You can say you're contacting me right now, you're texting me right now. Or you could say they're contacting you right now, or they're coming to see you today. Welcome to Mo. Okay. So you're going to look at them and you're going to say, you're coming to see me today. 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 Okay. Now, if you are in a friendship, situationship, relationship, all the fucking ships, if you're in one of those, then have fun with it. You can either tell them they're contacting you right now, they're coming to see you today, or you can say you're cooking me dinner tonight, you're bringing me dinner tonight, you're buying me flowers today, you're rubbing my feet tonight, you're giving me sexy time tonight. You know, whatever you want them to do. Have fun with it, okay? Let's get this done. My bathroom waits for no one, so I got to go to the toilet. So I'm going to go ahead and pause this live while you give your commands. But I want you to channel your king and queen energy. Your SP, your perfect person, is here right now, waiting for you to allow them to contact you. So right now, you're going to give them that permission, and you're going to expect them to contact you. And we're back. Now, you can relax and expect them to contact you. Like, now. In fact, I know for a fact that several of you are going to get contact any minute from your SP. Circumstances don't matter. Now, remember, I gave you the task that I want you guys to, yes, I will, Haley. I want you guys to do this on someone at random in your life. Someone at random in your life. Whether it's your parents, your brother, your sister, your kid, any of them, okay? A coworker, somebody I want you to do this with. And I want you to tell them to contact you. And when they do, you will know that just like you did it with them, your SP must do the same. Okay? Okay. So, because people are new here, let me introduce myself. I'm your manifestation bestie, where I teach you how to leverage the law of assumption to work in your favor. I already know that sounds good to you, so click that follow button, subscribe button, wherever you're watching from. Also, I give realistic advice. I do not give trash-ass advice. I teach you what works because I know what works because I've done it. I manifested my SP back from no contact to fully living with me in a matter of 4 weeks. So guess what? I'm here to help you do the same. You guys see this? Do you guys see this right now? Huh? Look at that. Pa. Although my name's not Jem. I'm just kidding. Just kidding. Boom. Contact. See? They were just on here saying they screwed up yesterday. They screwed up yesterday, had a big argument. Doesn't matter. Doesn't matter. It does not matter. Okay? Okay. If you're interested in having me manifest for you, your SP for you, or you want one-on-one coaching with me to figure out where you're going wrong so you can get it right and to discuss your current situation, I'm good at it. So I'm good to help you. I'm here to help you be good at it. So go ahead and click. All links are in my bio or the description, wherever you're hailing from. Thanks, Pa, sister. Okay. So also, if you are, thank you. So if you are, if you also join our WhatsApp community, it is lit. We are going to be doing monthly challenges in there. I'm going to be going live every single week on Zoom to answer your questions exclusively for your exclusive content and so forth. Okay. I'm also going to be throwing in techniques in there that I think will help you benefit you. They'll also be available in the WhatsApp community as well, or members only community on the tube of you, wherever. Okay. Also, I have a live event coming up where we're going to release your negative emotions stemming all the way back from the first time you felt them. So all this resentment, anger, hurt, fear, guilt that you have about your SPs, gone. In fact, I will have you recall an event that will cause you to trigger prior to us releasing your negative emotions. And then it may cause you to cry. That's okay. Because then as soon as we're done, I will ask you to recall that very same event. And this time, you'll be completely emotionally neutral. Where what caused you to cry in the beginning, now you think about it again, you're like, I don't feel some type of way about it. Perfect, because how do you dead the old story? By not being triggered by it. By not reacting to it anymore, right? So your negative emotions will be released. So you won't there's nothing to react to. Because it doesn't bother you anymore. Okay? Trying to help you guys out. Okay. Also, I go live here every day at 10 o'clock Pacific time. If you ever miss a live, I always put up on the two of you. You can subscribe to my YouTube channel. Links are in my bio. Okay. I'm good at it. The amount of people I've helped manifest their SPs back when people try to tell you that my method is wrong, don't know what they're talking about because I have hundreds of testimonials. I've only been teaching on the SP topic specifically for 60 days or slightly more. I don't fucking know. I didn't write it down, but I'm good at everything. I only teach what I know. I lost 100 pounds in 11 months, no diet, no exercise. That's how I got my start in the manifestation community. So I know how to do that. I also have manifested 2 wildly successful businesses and a third one. And I've helped hundreds of entrepreneurs hit 7 figures in their business in less than 3 years. So I'm good at helping you do that too. On top of that, I'm good. And I teach traffic strategies and all that stuff too. On top of that, I've manifested boatloads of money. And financial freedom. So I'm here to help you do the same. All right. Now, let's get back to Haley. You know, Haley, I will tell you, I love that name. When I was growing up, I always wanted to name my daughter Haley. And her name is Kayla. I always love the name Haley. In fact, I was contemplating naming her Kayla or Michaela. We settled on Kayla, and her bestie's name, Michaela. Go figure. Okay, go figure. So can I explain how the photo method works? Yeah. So the photo method is like thought transmission. Okay. It's thought transmission. So the fact is you control their thoughts 100% of the time when it comes to you. So you can literally, because you control their thoughts 100% of the time, you control what they're thinking about all day, every day. So as long as your inner conversations are, we're not talking, I'm blocked on everything. He wants nothing to do with me because he said so, and all of that stuff. Well, he literally cannot contact you. Okay. Doesn't matter. So instead we do the photo method where you are basically telling his ass what to do. You're contacting me right now. And he gets a ping in his head. I wonder what Haley's doing. I should contact her. Okay. And you get contact. Okay. That's how that works it's basically just thought transmission, but directed at a specific person. So when you're directing your thoughts at a specific person, then that's when you get contact. Okay. When you know, I did, Trisha, no diet either. When you know that is, when you expect them, the second you expect them to text you or contact you, guess what they do? They contact you because you just know that they're going to contact you. The only way you know that is if you're persisting in perfect person, right? Because if you're persisting in the perfect version of your SP, why wouldn't they contact you? Because when you were dating, or not even dating, when you guys were talking in the beginning and you were all smitten over him and he was all checking all the boxes and you're a perfect person, you never questioned if he'd contact you. You knew he would. You never questioned if you'd hear from him today. You knew you would. It's the same thing. It's that same knowing, right? Because now here we are. Look, what did I say, guys? What did I say? I said people will get contact on the spot. I know several of you will get contact from your SPs today. Now we have 2 already that got contact from their SPs. One is Amanda. The other one is Pa. Okay, that's how that works, guys. That's how that works. That's right. She'll message you as soon as she wakes up because you're all she could think about. In fact, right now, what is she doing? Dreaming about you, bitch. She's dreaming about you. Can't stop dreaming about you. Okay, so that's how that works. Now, we're going to cut the cord, the energy cord with your SP. Okay, this is also what one of my members did. Now, if you guys want to know, if you guys want the video for reference on energy cord cutting, if you go to my profile, I have a trilogy of videos where I'm in a red shirt. Okay, it's the first one of those trilogy videos where I walk you through the cord cutting technique. So you can save that video and do it as often as you want. She did it at 7 o'clock this morning and in 20 minutes got contact from her SP after being blocked. Okay, so what the energy cord cutting, the reason why energy cord cutting is so effective is because you're deading the old energy between you and SP. Okay, so instead of you and SP, instead of you thinking about you and SP have, okay, so look at it this way. Every time you guys have argued, it's like negative energy after negative energy after negative energy after negative energy after negative energy, and it compounds over time. Okay, so what we want to do is you're not cutting your SP out of your life, you're deading the old energy. So it's like cord cut away negative energy between me and my SP. So now it's fresh energy. So what happens is this is the part, thought transmission, your SP doesn't feel anything. They literally just get a thought to contact you. However, when you cut the energy connection with your SP, the negative energy connection with your SP, just the energy in general, they do feel something. Okay, because this time they will think about you. However, like you'll pop into their mind almost instantly. Okay, however, this time when they think about you, the feeling that they get when they think about you has shifted. Okay, so it's no longer like, yeah, fuck that hoe. Right? Instead, it's like, how I thought about her yesterday, I don't feel about her today, type of thing, right? Like, it's like, I wonder how she's doing. So when I cut the energy cord with my with my ex, excuse me, I wasn't trying to manifest him back. I was just trying to dead the old energy with my with my ex. And so I hadn't talked to him in over 8 years. And when I cut the energy cord, within 72 hours, he called me. Because unfortunately, I've had the same phone number for 25 years. T-Mobile loves to remind me that every time I call him. And so he's like, hey, I was just thinking about you. Want to see how you're doing? And I was like, no more cord cutting with that man. But you can do this with anybody, your family, your children, anybody, okay? To dead that old airspace, to dead the old energy. So it's nothing but fresh, vibrant energy moving forward with you and SP. All right? So that is what we're doing now, bitches. Okay? So get a nice, comfy little place. You could sit up. You don't have to lay down. Okay? If you're not a huge visualizer, don't worry about it. It doesn't matter. Okay? It's a technique itself. It's an aspect of cutting the cord. So don't worry. Don't be like, because I'm not a huge visualizer either, but it still works every time. Okay? Try. That's it. Okay? You can do this with anybody. You can do this with a group of people as well. So it just cuts the energy and keeps it fresh. Okay? It keeps all the energy fresh. So it's like for me and my daughter, it's like we don't have negative stale energy, but I want it to stay that way. I want it to stay fresh. You know, with my family, different things like that, you just want to keep it fresh. So if you cut the energy, the negative energy, then there's nothing left but good energy. Okay. So therefore you're creating, it's like a fresh start, if you will, where there's nothing but good energy between you and SP. All right. All right. So I want you guys to close your eyes. And I want you to take 3 deep breaths in and out. And I want you to imagine that you're in a theater. It's a dark theater, and you're sitting in the middle of this theater in a chair. You're alone. There's no one else there. And in front of you, there's a stage. And on this stage, there's a single stage light that goes from the ceiling of the stage down to the center of the stage. Now I want you to stare into that light for just a moment. And as you stare into the stage light, you start to notice that you're actually not alone. Off into the distance, in the back of the stage, out of the light, you notice a shadowy figure. And as you shift your attention away from the light and towards the shadowy figure, you start to realize that that person is your SP. Now I want you to call your SP, say their name, and call them into the light, into the center of the stage. Do that now. And as they start to walk into the light, you start to notice their facial features, their physical features. And you notice a gold cord that runs from the center of their third eye directly into your third eye. Now I want you to ask these 2 questions to your SP, and I want you to hear them respond. If you can hear their voice, great. If you cannot, it's okay too. I want you to ask your SP right now, do you support me? Hear them tell you, yes. Now ask them, do you love me? Again, hear them tell you, yes. Now I want you to repeat these 4 phrases to your SP. This time, they're not going to respond, and that's okay. I want you to look at your SP in the eyes, and I want you to say this. I'm sorry. Please forgive me. Thank you. I love you. Now I want you to reach up with your hand as if it's a pair of scissors. And I want you to cut the gold cord that runs from the center of your third eye. Do that now. And as the cord begins to fall, I want you to reach up with your other hand, and I want you to grab the roots of that gold cord from your third eye, pull them out and just toss them aside. And as the cord continues to fall to the floor, your SP starts to float away like a big balloon. And it gets farther and farther. And they get smaller and smaller. And they get farther and farther. And smaller and smaller. And farther and farther and farther until they just disappear. Now I want you to take a deep breath in and out and open your eyes. Now, the reason these 4 phrases are so powerful is they're for you. They're not for anyone else other than you. Okay, so look at it from when you can do this for anybody and anything. Okay, but when you say this to your SP, it's like saying, I'm sorry for selecting the version of you that I didn't want. I'm sorry for reacting when I shouldn't have. Please forgive me for causing the breakup. Thank you. And of course, I love you. Okay? That's what these are. That's what those sayings are for. They're for you. It's an ancient Hawaiian tradition. You can also look at your photo of your SP and say these phrases to your SP. Okay? Directly. It's arise from a Hawaiian tradition where they brought in somebody and they had a huge violent prison. The prison violence was on the rise. So they asked him to come in and do this. He had never met a single prisoner in his entire life from this prison. But all he did was take the prison. He did this. And within, Jeremy, shoot it back to the top. And he did this with the entire prison. And their crime rate, their prison violence went significantly down, to the point where it's almost non-existent. You don't have to know who they are. Okay? You can do this. I would recommend, Jimmy, that you can do this once a day. You don't need to obsessively do this all day long. I would do it once a day. Okay? I think the person in my text, I think she did this for like 3 days, something like that. And she got contact within 20 minutes after doing it today. Okay. So it's something to discipline yourself and to say, like, these are really like simple. I don't teach you guys techniques to manifest your SP back. I teach you guys techniques that work, but are not like techniques. Like, visualize a pool of love and you and your SP are swirling in the pool of love. And there's a pink light that just surrounds you like a vortex. And, and breathe life into this ball. And it's just the energy. And then whoosh. I did that shit too. Where they'll be like, now bring it down and feel it surge through your body. Oh, user 4780. She said, thank you for not being weird. You're welcome. Hey, that's what we all did, right? This same glass? Magic water, baby. Magic water. Now I drink fucking magic iced coffee. I love you too, Carol. Yep, the moon water too. This is my go-to. This is my go-to for the moon water, all things spiritual water. He's going to contact me right now. He's going to contact me right now. I need to get some Baileys. How long would you recommend you do the Ho'oponopono in a day? Once a day. It only takes like 2 minutes. Yes, Natalie. Yes. So that's my background is NLP. I'm a master NLP practitioner. And you know what? What up, Diamond Girlfriend? It only cost me one low price of 15 grand. But do I believe in a lot of the things from NLP anymore? Yeah and no. Okay. Yes, I do believe in a lot of the things from NLP because it's a subconscious mind. But do I believe that you need to go digging for all the shit to let it go? No, I don't think that at all. I don't think that you need to I don't think you need to go digging through all that shit. Like, what do I need to go? Like, I laugh at this. Gary Vee I watch because he's big on mindset. He's a business coach, but he goes and he does. He was saying, he's like, you guys are funny. You guys give your parents a pass. Like, he's like, or he goes, no, you guys attack your parents, but you give the grandma a pass. Like, you give the grandma a pass, but who the fuck do you think raised your parents? The grandma. And you got nothing but sympathy for the grandma, but your parents. And that's where I kind of am like, do you, that's right, girl. That's right, girl. I love that, Diamond. I'll give you a pass, sister. Now just do everything you did in your first relationship, do the opposite. And you got him. Don't react. Don't react anymore. Yeah, Danielle, that's what it is. Okay. So this is where everything that you do, same with your relationships, your entire life is based on patterns and processes. Okay. So you don't need to know where shit came from. Like, NLP will teach you, like, limiting beliefs and stuff like that, right? And how to let them go. But you don't need to know where that shit came from. Who cares? Are you gonna go confront your mom and be like, it's your fucking fault that I got money problems, bitch? You really did a number on me. Kudos to you, ma. Like, you're not gonna do that. So it doesn't matter where it came from. The fact is you can change it. But everything that you do is based on patterns and processes, including your relationships, are all based on patterns. So that's where, if you want to create a new neural pathway, you need to tell yourself something different. You need to break the patterns and create new patterns. Okay. And that's all that is. So, because your neural pathways are all in the subconscious mind, which is why people will do hypnosis, and certain things like that, because it bypasses the conscious mind and goes directly into the subconscious mind, which is also why people will listen to their affirmations or sleep meditations while they sleep, because your conscious mind is sleeping, not your subconscious mind. It's wide open to suggestion. Your subconscious mind is wide open to suggestion several times a day. So, like, if you're like, let's say you're sitting here, right? And you're like in I can take a nap vibe. Because you start to like space off. It's like you feel this way at work. I think there's something in the office air that, like, around 2:00, you're just like counting down the time till you can go home, because you're like, you find yourself doing this and then like nodding off, nodding off. It's like 2 p.m. Right? That's you're daydreaming, you're spacing out. That's SATs, state akin to sleep. And so because of that, your subconscious mind is wide open. So that's when you should affirm. 1,000%, because everything you know how to do is based off repetition, repeatedly doing something over and over again. Okay. So this is where, NLP, yes, you can use NLP, but don't get me wrong, they're much more effective than law of attraction, because law of attraction just teaches you bullshit techniques, but NLP will give you techniques to do at the subconscious level. So therefore, You don't have to worry about it. You guys are welcome to have my fucking I'll save you fit. You don't really need to be certified in the whole shit. I'll save you guys 15 grand. You guys can just log into my account. I have lifetime access to all NLP trainings. But that would only be, honestly, that would be the only techniques I would ever recommend if you're going to do any techniques are NLP techniques, because, well, they work. We'll start there. And because it's everything is from the subconscious mind perspective. Okay. And versus law of attraction is just teaching you how to visualize shit. That wants to create a codependent relationship with you because that's how they get their watch hours up. Because they'll be like, save this video and watch it for the next 30 days. Well, why? Do you know what false assumptions they're already creating in you from the beginning? You haven't even seen the fucking video. And they're like, save this video for the next 30 days. Do it as often as you need to. So then exactly when am I going to get my shit? State of knowing versus state of wanting. How do you transition to former and stay there? What do you see here, Adam, before my lives? And I bet you do. And write a list of questions. I mean, they're good. Don't get me wrong. They're good because they can help people. Okay. State of knowing versus wanting. How do you transition to former and staying there? Okay, so like everything you know is what manifests. Okay, so you have to identify somebody who has what you want. So when it comes to relationships, you need to identify as being the perfect boyfriend, right? As we're perfect together. We're great. You know, everything between us is great. I know we're getting back together. I know we're getting back together right now. I know we're getting back together right now. Knowing you're going to get back together, knowing you're going to be in a relationship with her is different than wanting one. Wanting one is desperate energy. Okay. So look at it this way, is if you were to go back to the beginning of your relationship, before you ever got in a relationship with your girlfriend, you didn't want necessarily, you weren't in the wanting, like desperation energy of wanting a relationship with her. You just knew that that's the direction this was headed. Okay. You started talking to her. You guys exchanged numbers. You started talking to her. And then one conversation led to many conversations, which led to longer conversations, which led to you guys hanging out. And you just kind of knew that this is the direction this was headed. Like, obviously, we're going to be in a relationship at some point because this is exactly what we're doing here. Versus the whole time that you were talking, you weren't like, oh my God, I want a relationship. Oh my God, I really want to be with her. I really want to be with her. I really want to be with her. It was more of a mutually agreed upon thing because of the vibe you were in. But then when we come to manifesting our RSPs back, it's okay to want your SP. It's okay to want them, but not to the point where you're checking for validation. You're looking for confirmation. You're over here like, where's it at? Where's it at? Where's it at? I mean, obviously we want what we want, right? But we at some point need to decide that this is exactly, I want, I want this and I deserve to have it. If I can desire to be with my girlfriend, that means we're supposed to be together. We don't desire what we shouldn't have. Do you desire to be with another girlfriend of yours? No. We have several exes. Most of us have several exes from our past. Do you desire to be with any of them? Nope. But you desire to be with the one that you want. Then that means you're supposed to be with her. And so you have to know that. And when you know that, then you're like, okay, it's a wrap. I'm just going to know. I have nothing to lose and everything to gain by knowing how this is going to play out. I don't need to know how. we're getting back together. I don't need to know how we're getting back in contact. That's irrelevant. You most likely won't even guess the how anyway. So that's why I said, don't worry about it. Don't view circumstances, nothing. Don't try to figure it out, because you won't probably guess it at all. At all. Will you guess how you get back in contact? Okay. But somehow you will. And that's all you have to know, is you have to know that this works for everybody. No one is born with an innate ability to manifest, and everyone else, sorry, bruh. You weren't blessed. You weren't genetically blessed enough to manifest. That's not how that works. Okay. Yeah, I can record whatever you want, Natalie. I'm doing a weight loss hypnosis recording for her. Except my weight loss hypnosis recordings are different than any other one that you'll find online. That I guarantee you. And that's because I know what works. And I'm not going to sit there and tell you that you're going to diet for the rest of your life. No, I'm going to tell you that everything you eat is a goddamn carrot. Things like that, and it doesn't matter what you eat, you lose weight. Like all those type of things, exactly how my weight loss hypnosis are going to go. But I can make them on anything. It's a blanketed. So like personalized is exactly that. Does not have to be SP related, but you could be like, I want money. Great. I'll make you one on money. I want business success. Great. I'll make you one on that. I want a perfect self-concept. Great. I'll make you one on that. Doesn't matter. I want to stop nail biting. Sure. I'll make you one on that. I don't want to have anxious thoughts anymore. Sure. Anxiety be gone. I'll make you one on that. Any of those things I can do. I don't want it the first time. I definitely don't want to be remembered. Yeah, past life regression is interesting. It's interesting. That's kind of how, from a logical perspective, that's how you have to look at things. If you think when you die you're going to go into the clouds, you're not. Because a past life regression wouldn't exist if you went to the clouds. Okay? Mediums talking to dead people wouldn't exist if you went into the clouds. Ghosts wouldn't exist if you went into the clouds. Contrary to what movies might have you to believe, either you go up, down, and if you weren't good enough for either one, and you have unfinished business, then you get to stay here and just roam the earth as a ghost. No. All it means is you went to a different reality. That's all that means. This is why some people believe in soulmates, twin flames, all that good stuff. I choose not to believe in any of that. But this is why people believe in that. Because that's where you go. You go into a different dimension, if you will. A different dimension. Call what the fuck you want. I don't give a shit. That's my personal opinion. I think it makes a whole lot more sense than, some magical escalator that's going to take you to the clouds. I'm just saying. And then who decides if you're going up or down, bitch? You die and you sit in front of a court and you have God on one side and Lucifer on the other. And you have to plead your case. And then they just decide, they come to a master of the minds and decide if you've gone up or you go down. Because let's be honest, no one walks around this world where your shit don't stink. Let's just say that. So if that's the case, then that means that every single person on this planet has one-way ticket and it ain't up, bitch. I'm just saying. And no, you cannot go and do whatever you want. If you believe in, the higher power and stuff like that. You cannot go do whatever you want and then repent for your sins and expect to go upstairs. Because if that's the case, then there's a whole lot of evil people living in the clouds. I'm just saying. Just saying. I think mine sounds a whole lot more logical. Danielle, kudos to you. Kudos to you. I'm not ready to give up the sauce. I feel like it helps me to not react. When your child tries to test you and you're like, I've had a couple cocktails. I ain't reacting. Although I want to get rid of, NLP can get people to stop drinking, stop smoking, stop with all the bad habits. Okay. I take it back about the questions. Adam's win now. Yeah, Jimny, I have it done. I just have to literally make the automation that goes out with it. What will shift when he asked about the actual hypnosis sessions. What will shift when your manifestation starts to work? I feel like sometimes everything is good, then stops. Jenny, I can't answer that because to me, I think it's the obvious. Okay. So I think it's the obvious, but to a lot of people, it's not so obvious. Okay. Because for me, it was the obvious. It's like when my manifestation started to work, like we got back in contact, right? Or he just gave me his new number. I was like, fuck yeah. Hell yeah. And so I was excited. So I kept going. And then we started talking, right? Then I got locked out of the pool. I couldn't go in the pool. And we talked for like 2-3 hours on the phone. And then we started texting all day, every day. Like all of those things I used, like I was excited about it. And so for me, that shifted for me is instead of being like neutral about it and just doing it, is I became excited about it. It became like fun for me where I was like, hell yeah, like this is working. I'm gonna keep going, right? But for the masses though, they don't do that shit. I don't know why you guys don't I don't know what is so difficult for you guys to embrace the moment. Instead, most people, they get negative about movement. They get negative about the movement. They do. They'll sit there and get a text like it's a dry text. Or he texted me and I haven't heard from him since. And, he just stopped responding or he hasn't responded to me in 15 fucking minutes. And, they just bitch about it. Like they get movement, but they bitch about the movement. And I'm just like, I'm sorry, what is it that you want? Did you want the movement or do you want nothing? Like to me, that's the obvious. So for me, that's the shift that I experienced when manifesting is that I felt good. I felt like this is exciting. I didn't complain and find the loopholes and find the negative in everything that was going on. I didn't do that. I didn't find the negative things constantly. I didn't listen to what he said either. I tell you guys, the turnaround happened. So I didn't listen to certain things that were said because I was like, oh, I need to persist. See, at the time, I didn't, which is where I teach you guys different now because I learned in my journey. At the time, I didn't think about, I didn't actively think about assigning meaning to everything because I didn't assign negative meaning to things. I didn't think about, at the time, I didn't think about not listening to what they say and to persist in perfect boyfriend because I just naturally, if I'm just that person, like if you say something or if you say something I don't want to hear, I don't entertain it. Okay. I'm like, nope. And then I just affirm, right? I didn't flip the thoughts at the time. I just affirmed the opposite. And then I didn't look at everything in my 3D as feedback. things that my SP was saying, or things in my 3D as feedback. Because for me, I just persisted. Right. And because again, I also didn't listen. I was like, okay. But shall I have done those things? Shall I have looked at now I do 1,000%. Now I do always look at things as feedback, right? Shall I have done that in manifesting my SP back? It probably would have gone from 3 weeks down. It probably would have gone from 4 weeks down to 3 or 2, because I would have looked at everything as feedback. But my mind, it's more, like I said, I don't understand why a lot of you guys will sit there and say, how do you do this? How is it this? How do you stay? How do you persist? How do you not waver? How do you do it? Because for me, my fucking wants far outweighed the opposite. It wasn't an option for me. It wasn't let me go ahead and try to manifest my SP back. Let's hope it works. Let's give it a shot. And then react. For me, no, that wasn't an option. One, maybe I've evolved. I'm petty as fuck, don't get me wrong, but clearly I'm more of an adult than a lot of you. And I did not go there. I just didn't. I wanted what I wanted, and I disciplined myself as much as humanly possible. And did I waver? Of course, but you know what? I did not spiral. If I'm gonna spiral in my thoughts, it's gonna be about what I want, not about what I don't fucking want. I'm not gonna sit there. You think in a million years, if you think ever, even now, yes, Robin, hypnosis does help with manifesting an SP because it bypasses the conscious mind and goes directly into the subconscious mind, and it automatically creates new neural pathways. Okay, so you don't have the repetition, it automatically rewires them. Okay, so that answers your question. But back to what I was fucking saying. I did not allow myself, spiraling was not an option. Was not an option. Did I waver sometimes? Sure. Did I have a negative intrusive thought come up? Sure. Spiral? Never. Never, never, never. Ever. Because that went against everything that I wanted. Everything that I wanted, spiraling would have gone against. So if I'm going to spend the time thinking thoughts, I'm going to spiral towards what I want, not what I don't want. So I have zero sympathy when it comes to that, because that's bullshit. That's bullshit. It means that you would prefer to be the victim than the victor. That's what that means. If you can't control yourself and you can't discipline your mind and you can't act like an adult and stop reacting to bullshit and evolve as a human being, as a woman, as a man, as the perfect boyfriend and girlfriend for yourself, if you can't do that, then you much rather prefer to be the victim. If all you do is want to sit there and bitch, moan, whine, and groan about every fucking thing, then you get some kind of satisfaction over being the victim. You'd rather victimize yourself than get what you actually want. That's the truth. And I would never do that. It's not in my DNA. It's not. My dad likes to say it's because we're Japanese. I don't think so. But it's not in my DNA. I'm not wired that way. Did I do that for the first couple months? Yes. I spiraled. I self-loathed my fucking pity party. Until I realized I created this nonsense. But see, here's the thing. I had to figure that shit out on my own. You don't. I'm here to tell you that. I had to figure out what caused my breakup. I had to figure out where I went wrong. You don't. I had to figure out what works and what doesn't work, and I had to do all that myself. You don't. So what the fuck is your excuse? Huh? What's your excuse? There's a reason I pay to go on the toll road when I go from here to LA. Thank God it took them decades to build one, but now they do. Because you know what? Why on earth would I want to sit in traffic when I can take the fast pass? I'm not going to do that. So I'm here to help you guys do it the right way. But so many of you, all you do is whine, bitch, moan, and fucking groan and self-loathe in your own goddamn fucking pity party. Over and over and over again. And then sit there and be like, I'm not seeing any movement. What am I doing wrong? Every fucking thing is what you're doing wrong. Everything. So I'll ask you again. Do you want to be with your SP or do you not? If you don't, that's totally fine. Either way, you still need to evolve so that you don't, have history repeat itself again in your new relationship. But if you do want to be with your SP, then you'll stop the bullshit. You'll stop playing games in your own fucking mind, because that's all you're doing. That's all you're doing is playing games in your own mind. Victimizing yourself, feeling sorry for yourself, doing all the shit that you're not supposed to be doing. So decide now. And if you want what you want, then grow up. Then grow up. And act like an adult. And stop fucking whining. Over and over and over again. Stop whining. Period. Do you understand what I'm saying? Nobody is any different than you. Nobody has the innate ability to manifest an SP back but you, bitch. No. The only difference is they persist. And they do what I say. That's it. That's all. I don't think you lack the fucking discipline when you go to work, do you? No, you don't. And why don't you lack the discipline when you go to work? Because you know whole ass what would happen if you didn't do your job. You would get fired. So you discipline yourself there. Hell, a lot of you guys are disciplined to go to the fucking gym. The hell's wrong with you? I hate the gym. Every time I looked for a place to live, I always made sure there was a gym. And my brother would always laugh and be like, I don't know why you're looking for a gym. It's not like your ass is ever going to go. He's right. He's right. It's exhausting. So if I'm going to work out, I'd rather do it in my mind. You can do it. Anything, everything takes place in your mind. You can literally work out in your mind and have it produce on the outside. There's a whole study done on it. For basketball players and stuff. And teach your kids this. If they're in sports, if your kids are in sports or anything, teach your kids this. All they need to do is visualize being great at it. If they play the instrument, whatever they do, all they have to do is go in their mind palace and visualize shooting the perfect free throw. They only have to do it for like 10 minutes a day, right? Any of that stuff, playing the violin like a pro. All they have to do is visualize that, and their skill set will rapidly improve. Because they visualize in their mind. There's a whole study done on it. They took 3 groups of people, basketball players, and they had the first one only throw free throws. That was it. The second group of people, they had only visualize throwing the perfect free throw. The third group, they had do both. Well, obviously the third group that did both was the one that won, was the one that was the best. But the second group of people that were the best never threw a free throw. They did it only in their mind. They did another thing where they took people working out. They had one person visualize themselves working out, and they put these monitors all over them. And they had the second person actually work out. And they found it interesting that all of the body parts fired at the exact same when one was actually working out, the other one was not. Their body receptors or whatever still all fired off. Yeah. Yes. So there's that. And there was a video done. This is where magic comes into play because they distract your conscious mind. Okay. There was another one where a whole basketball game was being played. And if I can find the video, I'll show it to you. But now that you guys know, you guys will see it. But there was a whole basketball game being played, and a mascot went right through the court. Danced his way right through the middle of the court. I think like only 2% of the entire people actually noticed the mascot because they were focused on the game. So there's that. Okay, if you are getting inconsistent movement from your SP, so if you're talking constantly but not consistently, then move your affirmation to being consistency. Okay, stop telling yourself the things that you don't want. So stop telling yourself, I'm usually the one that texts first. Well, then that's not going to change. Stop telling yourself, they don't want to talk to me, or we don't talk every day. Then that's going to stay in place. Do you see the trend? Huh? You said, user 4780, you would dismantle your phone before making a call. What to do when toxic or mistreatment flashbacks? Reconsider, or just don't choose that version of them. Ivy, definitely don't choose that version of them. Don't choose that version of them, because they did it once and then you feared they would do it again. Therefore they did it again. And you had a whole pattern started, and then you chose the version of them that did that. You don't want that. So you need to now sit there and say, when you think about the toxic or mistreatment flashback, no, absolutely not. Nope. Perfect boyfriend, best relationship, perfect boyfriend, best relationship. Remember the version of your SP that they were way before the toxic and mistreatment happened. Okay, you have to remember that. I'm grateful for you too, son. Okay, you need to do that. Do you understand? Sarah. Look, that's a good problem to have. What Sarah's having. I'm seeing too much movement. This man needs to slow the hell down. My poor heart. Shouldn't call and be like, I need a doctor appointment. Why? Because my heart is just too full. Instead of heartbreak, it's too full. Yes, Diamond. Yes, you need to continue manifesting him since he has returned. So you need to, couple things. You need to persist in perfect boyfriend, best relationship. Okay. And you only have to do that if like you're finding parts that are not. Okay. So like, let's say he feel like he has a bit of an attitude. Nope. Perfect boyfriend, best relationship. I'm still not going to ask questions unless I want that I don't know the answer to. I'm not going to react. I'm not going to do any of that stuff. Okay. Now, reacting doesn't mean where you can't be like, is everything okay with you? You don't need to, that's not reacting. Okay. That's called conversing, right? If all of a sudden your boyfriend comes home or whatever, gets off the phone and seems like a little jaded, you could be like, hey, are you okay? Now, if they say, yeah, I'm fine. Okay, then don't prod. Okay, and don't assign it a negative meaning. That's different. But then persist in perfect boyfriend, best relationship, like we're great, that type of thing. Then now manifesting, what I would do is, and I don't think you just want to be a boyfriend. So move to the next step in your relationship. Okay. Since you're now in a relationship, move to the next step. He is so in love with me. He wants to live with me right now. He is so in love with me. He wants to live with me right now. Okay. He's constantly talking about our future, right? Because you will notice he'll start to talk about your future. Yes, Ness, but we already did all of the above, sister. Only you can take your crown off and step down off your pedestal. That's damn right. Damn right. That's what I'm saying, Sabrina. So the same discipline you have at the gym needs to happen in... How did I know my SP was coming back? Was it an energy you felt or see signs? I just knew. It was the movement, right? When you start to see the movement happening, it further steps you into the, oh yeah, I know. I just know, right? Like, because you leverage the movement to keep going. So when you see the movement towards what you want, then it makes it a lot easier for you to be like, yeah. That's right, Glitter Sparkles. You literally hold people's life in your hands. Literally. Yeah, you know, Natalie, I could manifest that I like the gym, but why? I don't. And I'm okay with that. I'm okay with that. Instead, if I'm going to manifest liking the gym or something, you want to know what I'd manifest? I'd rather just manifest having the perfect body, which is what I'm working on at the current moment. No gym or sweat required. Or soreness required. Because it's like my brother who works at a gym and has been working out for years and looks the same. And I'm like, you should probably, pick the brains of the personal trainers at the gym that you work at as a second job. You should probably ask them what they're doing because he looks the same. Why do all that when you could just manifest six-pack abs? You know what I'm saying? It seems a whole lot, it just seems a whole lot easier to me, okay? Nina, prove them wrong. Prove them wrong. Prove them wrong right now. I want you to do that in your mind. I want you to tell yourself that. I want you to imagine yourself playing like, you know what I'm saying? I want you to imagine yourself in your mind doing that. And then I want you to tell yourself that you're a professional violin player. And then go back to the same person that told you can't do it professionally and be like, yeah, check this shit out, bitch. Then now you have a new career. Because now you're going to sit there and be like, now, if you would like, I can teach your students how to become a professional violinist, right? Now you got a whole new career, okay? People, you could do it online. You could sell it on YouTube. You're like, I will sell you an entire program, and it's one video. It's one video. It's all about visualizing yourself in your mind and then telling yourself the opposite. Nest, yeah, you can do it several times a day. You can do the picture method several times a day. That's right. That's right, Natalie. You lose weight every time you eat chocolate, girl. When we reach a certain state of consciousness, it's no longer about affirming, but remember who we are. Hey, James Bestie. Well, no, not necessarily. I mean, it's both. It's both, Selena. But you have to understand this, is you're already doing it anyway, okay? You think 60 to 80,000 thoughts a day. Every single one of those thoughts is an affirmation. So it's not like you're just consciously affirming for what you want, but regardless of if you're consciously affirming or not, you're still affirming 60 to 80,000 times a day. And now, granted, some of those are focused thinking when you're working, concentrating on something, having a conversation, right? But when you're not, and it's outside those hours, on the other hand, you're still affirming. So you don't necessarily need to actively affirm like robotically, but you do need to pay attention to your thoughts that come up throughout the day because you have different identities, okay? So you can remember who you are. Great. That's a self-concept thing. But you need to make sure that you remember who you are in all areas of your life. Okay. So if you want to be rich, you need to see yourself as being rich, as someone who has a lot of money. Okay. If you want to be successful, you need to see yourself as somebody who is very successful. Okay. Who has a 7-figure business. A millionaire and a 7-figure entrepreneur are not the same at all. They're not the same. Because there's a lot of people that are 7-figure entrepreneurs, but how much money goes in their bank account? It ain't that. Okay. Millionaires are exactly that. Millionaires. Hey, kitty cat cat. Did you get my message, bitch? I responded. A diamond I heard. Oh, okay. She said okay. So she got it. Yes, there we go. That's right. Absolutely, Natalie. But assume he's also contacting you right now. Okay. Sanchi, I did not work yesterday, most of the day, but I do have a little bit of time. I do have a very brief amount of time after this live, so I'll cut it off, but just know that this is Sanchi's fault, guys, that I have to cut it off. And hey, Kate, fine sister. I just have to cut it off in 8 minutes because I need to call Sanchi. And somebody else asked if I can call them today too. So I need to call that person today. You guys are needy as fuck. I'm just kidding. Just kidding. Let's see here. Okay, no, she doesn't have time. She's Sarah. Sarah. He said she doesn't have time. I'm doing her hypnosis. What's a C5, chick? Cabby finds. What is a C5? You're all needy. You're Patriot. Yes, I'm busy. I'm busy talking to all of your guys' people, but that's all right. It's totally all right. I love how you guys are so funny. I love how you talk to me through the text when I know you're on my live. Because all of a sudden I'll get like a text reply. Carol, nothing. Explain what SP is expecting while manifesting. Nothing. Absolutely nothing. They're literally going about their life. Literally. But then you're in control of this. So then it's their thoughts. That's literally it. So they're not like expecting anything other than what you assume they're expecting. Okay. Yeah, they don't. It's funny because I love you too, sister. Oh, experiencing. Yeah. Either way, but that's what's. I watched a video on this before. I think Sammy Ingram. Yeah, Sammy Ingram did this with her husband, and it was the most boring video I've ever seen in my life. They asked like, I don't know how many different ways they asked the same damn question, but it was like the same response over and over and over again. I was like, yeah, they're expecting. There you go, Natalie. But it's like, what are they experiencing? Nothing. It's like just nothing. It's because to them, because you have to realize that this isn't like, you're not controlling anything, right? You're not controlling. So it's like, it was very boring. It's like, he's like nothing. I was like, well, we could just dead this whole interview now. I like, but they don't, because you're not, it's like you're not controlling anything. So for them, it's natural. It's natural, right? It's like, think about because remember, everybody manifests, right? So think about like if you randomly, like you're going about your day and you just randomly think of somebody from your past, right? What are you experiencing? Nothing. Nothing is just a thought that came up, different things like that. Or you'll recall like an event from, you don't really experience anything. It's just a thought. And so it's no different. It's no different than what you're doing. They don't experience anything. It's just like, it's because it's natural to them. Everything is them wanting to do it, not you forcing. You know what I'm saying? So they're not experiencing shit. So anyway, guys, all right, I'm going to call a couple of these peeps back. But if you're interested in having me manifest for you, or you want one-on-one coaching with me to figure out where you're going wrong so you can get your stuff right, then all links are in my bio. Join our WhatsApp group where we're going to be doing monthly challenges, exclusive content, and so forth. So therefore you guys can, and get inspired by these success stories. There's oodles of them. I'm going to do a much better job of posting. I can't with you, Sarah, of posting more success stories and my stories and so forth, so you guys can see them and get inspired. And then make sure that you also join my live events so that we can get your negative, because clearly a lot of you need to release these negative emotions. Okay, so let's get those done, and then your body heals itself. Sarah, you are you're killing me. I could imagine you too. Like, let me check the cupboards, even though you know darn well they're not there. And then you got to do reverse psychology, Sarah. Are you sure you didn't eat them? Are you sure? Maybe you ate them and you just don't remember. I'm gonna go with that one. Trick her into thinking she's the culprit. I talked to you at 5, Lisa. But I can imagine you guys doing that. Let me look under the couch. The only Easter eggs I eat are, yeah, right. Yeah, that's right. Go stock up right now and then put them and be like, they've always been here. What is your problem? Because they're going to, because right now they're on sale, 50% off. The only eggs I eat are like the ones that are like Whoppers. Those are my favorite. Like the speckled eggs that are like crunchy. Oh. No, I'm lying. I like those, and I like the Reese's eggs. Sometimes I feel like Reese's eggs are better than the cups themselves because there's a nice chocolate to peanut butter ratio. When I say that, I mean 90% peanut butter and 10% chocolate. I love peanut butter. Oh, geez, Abby. The amount of times you eat people's gifts before they get them. I can't do gifts. Like, if you think I'm like a pre-planner of gifts, never. Because if I have the gift, I have to give it to you. Because if not, I'm going to end up telling you what it is anyway. So I got to, here you go. It's early. My daughter's Easter basket had 2 things in it. It had her 2 things from Amazon, because Amazon delivers next day. And so she goes, do I get my Easter basket? I'm like, is this a joke? Do you want the 2 things in your Easter basket? And so she's got it. But the rest of her crap comes, her $120 worth of clothes comes this week. Jade, if you're on here, your cat has been gone since Friday. Stop identifying your cat as being gone, because if you can't find your cat, you can't find your cat. Okay, it's in a reality. It's in a timeline where your cat is lost. Okay, I love you, Diamond. Keep it going, sister, and keep me in the loop. Don't go disappearing, bitch. Okay. I love you guys. and I will see you tomorrow. Love you, besties. Bye.